Raising money to fight a copyright lawsuit while watching a copyrighted movie without any commentary.
Yours beat are actually hard. Don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. Now can I get a welcome to the jungle? Love you, man. XQCL. Hi.
This is very...
Will you marry me, Toast? Less than 3.
No, I'm not marrying anybody.
I'm just curious.
Well, he probably does, right? Well, check, guys, it's a valid question. He probably does, and if he doesn't, he's kind of rude, let's be honest. I mean, dude. Guys, the seats are small for people that are like 200 pounds, 230. Like.
So this is, that's absolutely smoking.
We're live, by the way. Don't say anything, you know what.
Свапы, найслаги, блять, просто пиздец нахуй. Okay, my.
What?
Has to stay confident on his edge guard route, even though he has
Whoa, chat! Super Smash Bros!
Nice. Grab, okay. Oh, wait. Oh, that might be it. This might be it. There. Oh, the weak hit. But he's got it. He's got it. He doesn't want to commit. He has it this time. Surely, it is enough to do it. And Zayn Nagmi, your Supernova 2025 champion. He's got 2 in a row.
That's right. Zayn's got it all.
Let's go.
He's got it all, winning the world's biggest tournament.
Anyway, chat, that's about it. What else we got there, chat? Chat, you kinda look like PBM. Chat, is that PBM from the thing?
So the soles came off my shoes. I'm on my way to the orientation shit. Look, this one about to go too. Yo, no matter what, y'all. Hold on. I'm still cold. Like, I'm still cold. What y'all niggas talking about?
I don't know what that means. Anyway. Anyway, chat, what else we got? Chat, did you watch a friend video?
At the home of God.
Chat, I'll give it a shot. I'll see if it's good enough.
Arrives at the home of Godfrey Harold Hardy, a mathematician in Cambridge. It's from a young man in India. He says he's poor, never went to university, but he's written down some formulas, and he's asking for feedback. Some of these formulas are the most groundbreaking pieces of math Hardy has ever seen. Complex equations that even the world's top mathematicians could spend pages trying to unpack. The kind of work only a true genius could produce. A genius unlike any other. A poor boy from India, obsessively writing down formulas, convinced they are messages of gods. Someone whose religious beliefs clash with the world around him. A man shadowed by death at every turn. A mathematician whose creative genius likely doesn't stem from formal academic education, but from the lack of it. Even today, to many, his mysterious formulas remain beyond full understanding. This is the story of someone who might have won the world's highest honors, if only things had gone differently. This is the tragic story of one of the greatest minds in history, Srinivasa Ramanujan, also known as the man who knew infinity. This video is largely based on the book, The Man Who Knew Infinity, by Robert Kanigel. And a quick heads up before we begin. In this episode we'll mention depression and attempted suicide. If you don't feel well, don't be shy to get help. Ramanujan grows up in a respected family. They belong to the Brahmins, the highest caste in India. The caste system plays a central role in Indian society. Rooted in it dates back thousands of years. It divides people into a 5-tier hierarchy. At the bottom are the Dalits, also known as the untouchables, often forced into low-paid, stigmatized jobs, like hand-cleaning toilets or collecting garbage. At the top are the Brahmins. They often work as teachers or priests. Each caste is further divided into thousands of smaller subcastes. Ramanujan and his parents are Vaishnava Brahmins, and they follow the rules that come with their caste strictly. In India, being part of a higher caste generally means higher wealth, but there are exceptions. Brahmins do not condone public displays of luxury. What truly matters is living a life of mental or spiritual depth while remaining modest. Ramanujan's parents
Jackie, can you not get promoted to a new rank? Can you not rank up if you do good?
are poor. To make ends meet, the family often takes in subtenants for extra income. This is the world Ramanujan grows up in. He's a quiet, thoughtful child who loves being by himself. When he first attends school, he hates it. He doesn't like the teachers, and he resists a rigid system telling him what to do. After he repeatedly skips school, the family hires a local...
I present a new idea. It's called the standardized PvP event, where there's a standardized test with the multiple topics. One of you will pick somebody of a class above you. 1v1, buddy. And you go to a 1v1 test. If you beat them in the test, you rank up, they rank down. They become the cleaner, you become the whatever the fuck.
Police officer to escort him there. Early on, his family moves frequently, forcing Ramanujan to switch schools again and again. After the family finally settles at Kumbhakonam, he begins to excel in school, especially in math. His classmates start coming to him for help. He breezes through exams in half the time, and before long, he's so advanced that he even challenges his teachers. Around the age of 13, Ramanujan's math teacher tries to explain a basic concept. Divide anything by itself, and the result is always 1. He says, whether you divide 3 fruits among 3 people, or 1,000 fruits among 1,000, each person gets 1 fruit. Then Ramanujan speaks up. But is 0 divided by 0 also 1? If no fruits are divided among no one, we'll each still get 1. Ramanujan isn't just a troublemaker. His talent proves useful to the school as well. When they need to assign 1,200 students to 3 dozen teachers, while factoring in special cases and individual needs,
divided by 0.
they turn to Ramanujan for help.
He did it to
But his true talent goes way
Don't divide by
deeper.
0,
As a student, he independently rediscovers the solution to the quadratic equation, a major mathematical problem from Renaissance Italy. He
Yo,
dives
quadratic, I know that. Yo, the quadratic.
to the quadratic equation, a major mathematical
Square
problem
root.
from Renaissance Italy. He dives into advanced topics like infinite series, far beyond the standard curriculum.
Yeah, I didn't do that.
Most of his classmates, and even the teachers, rarely understood what he was
Oh,
talking about.
quadratic, okay.
All Ramanujan wants is to go deeper and deeper into mathematics. Then, one day at age 16, he gets his homework heavily passed along by a friend from the local college library. The book isn't exactly a page-turner. It's basically a list of 5,000 equations and theorems, lined up one after another, with almost no explanation. It was meant to help math students cram for a specific exam. By the time Ramanujan gets a hold of it, it's already more than a decade old. But Ramanujan becomes completely absorbed by the book. He dives into its dense pages, studying those complex equations. In math, proof is everything. Mathematicians have to show, step by step, why equations like these are always true. Bakar's book rarely provides any proof. Instead, it leaves the reader to figure things out on their own.
I mean...
For Ramanujan, every equation in this book is like a puzzle, begging to be solved.
34
He tackles them using his own methods, far from anything you'd find in academia. The book leaves a deep memory, but he doesn't just study the numbers. He develops a kind of religious devotion to them. Ramanujan is a devout Hindu with deep faith. He often visits the local temple and takes part in ceremonies and rituals at home. But his devotion goes beyond caste tradition. He regularly prays to the family goddess, Namagiri, and is determined to follow what he believes to be her will. The boy credits all his extraordinary mathematical abilities to the gods. He doesn't see math as a human concept. He sees it as a window into the deeper structure of the universe.
What? An equation for me has no meaning.
True.
Unless it expresses a thought of God.
Math explains our world, the entire universe really. Ramanujan might have liked having a picture of a remote galaxy in his bedroom. Well, you can. On a robust and beautifully designed metal poster like this one.
Yo, Mike's lagging today. What the fuck?
To discover 4 to 5 workdays, you can have your own window into the universe right at home. Shortly after discovering the book, he finishes school. Top marks, not just in math, but across the board. The school's director even says he deserves more than an A+. Ramanujan, he says, was off the scale. Ramanujan is driven to become a great mathematician. He's already something of a local legend for his uncanny math skills. He even earns a scholarship to the college in his hometown. But this is where things begin to fall apart.
Oh no.
For the first time in his life, Ramanujan faces real failures. The college expects him to attend multiple different lectures, but he's beginning to lose interest in anything besides math. While his professors lecture on Roman history, he's scribbling formulas, completely absorbed in algebra, trigonometry, and calculus. This comes with major consequences. Eventually Ramanujan loses his scholarship, and a single term at college costs as much as his father earns in a month and a half. His academic future is suddenly at risk. His parents are now pouring what little money they have into his education. He feels guilty.
Yeah, but if he shows his prowess to these teachers of arithmetic and whatnot, right? They would see that the guy is like potential, and they would probably try to get him to like be their little pup. No.
The pressure to perform in every subject is mounting, but he's terrified it will take him away from the one subject he lives for. Eventually, the strain becomes too much. One day, he walks away, dropping out of college. At 18, he tries to study at a different college, but fails again. By now, Ramanujan is in his early 20s and desperately searching for work, and little by little, he begins to lose hope. Everyone close to him knows this, but there seems to be no place for him in academia. Around this time, Ramanujan's mother arranges a marriage for him. His bride is just 9 years old. The marriage doesn't change much in his life. They don't live together right away. She
Very,
very
bicus, dicus, bombicus.
But the pressure on Ramanujan to earn a living grows even heavier. Day after day, he works in solitude, driven by ideas no one around him fully understands. And wherever he goes, he keeps some things close. Personal notebooks, worn from use, packed cover to cover with equations and theorems. 3 of those notebooks survive, though he likely had more. The first known one is written in blue ink, packed with things like hypergeometric series and continued fractions. It's organized into chapter by topic, with theorems neatly numbered. Ramanujan likely edited it, typing up the rough sketches from an earlier version. But over time, that order begins to fray. When he runs out of space, he scribbles calculations on the backs of pages, using them for scratch work. For Ramanujan, his notebooks are a vast collection of his discoveries, and he knows that these notebooks will be his ticket to a job related to math. He presents them to influential people who might be able to help. And eventually,
Treno Struzzo Turbo 3000.
the newly founded Indian Mathematical Society,
See, I told you, a little papa.
sees his potential and believes in his remarkable talent. They agree to support him, allowing Ramanujan to focus entirely on mathematics. And it doesn't take long for Ramanujan to publish his first paper in the Society's journal. It's a piece on Bernoulli numbers, a sequence of numbers that shows up in an analysis. He reveals his talent when dealing with infinite sums. But still, no one truly understands his brilliance, and the modest salary from the Society isn't enough. He still has to work as a clerk at the port in Madras just to make ends meet. So those close to Ramanujan urge him again and again to contact mathematicians in the West. If no one in India could support him, maybe they would. He starts writing letters, but nothing comes of it.
This is smart then. This is what
Then,
people used to do
finally,
way
he
back
writes to
then.
Godfrey Harold Hardy, a rising mathematician and fellow at Trinity College, Cambridge. At this time, Cambridge is regarded as the center of mathematics in England.
Chad, the great discovery, Chad, like the telescopes and shit like that, right? The people that did it were smart, yes.
Gorillo Watermelon Drillo.
It was even almost a better, more important skill set. To fund their research and do all this shit, they needed funding. So they would go to various groups and people, and they would present their project as something that they needed it, and they had to market it. It's crazy.
Hardy is 35, but already highly respected in the field. For both Hardy and Ramanujan, this letter changes everything.
Often to religious groups.
Hardy is nothing like Ramanujan. Though he shares a deep passion for mathematics, he doesn't believe in God. He's outspoken and never shy about sharing his opinions. When it comes to other mathematicians and their work, Hardy is full of contradictions, strict and serious, but also kind and generous. He claims not to care about untalented students, yet he never lets any of them fail. There are plenty of things Hardy reportedly hates: the English climate, watches, and politicians among them. But he also has his love: cats, crossword puzzles, and most of all, cricket. He doesn't just enjoy the sport, he adores it. He plays it, loves it, and studies it, along with its champions. At times, he's even seen running around the Fellows' Garden at Trinity, cricket bat in hand, frantically searching for his gloves just before a match begins. And of course, Hardy is a gifted mathematician, widely considered as one of the most influential British mathematicians of the 20th century.
Oh, wow.
His work played a key role in shaping modern mathematics. Ramanujan's letter arrives in 1913. Hardy would later call it the most remarkable letter he ever received. The first sentences are brutally honest.
Dear sir, I beg to introduce myself to you as a clerk in the accounts department of the Port Trust office at Madras on a salary of only £20 per annum. I am now about 23 years of age. I have no university education.
Ramanujan writes that he's been doing mathematics in his spare time, and he doesn't shy away from being called a genius either.
I have not trodden through the conventional regular course, which is followed in a university course, but I am striking out a new path for myself. I have made a special investigation of divergent series in general, and the results I get are termed by local mathematicians as startling.
To catch Hardy's attention, Ramanujan refers to a paper Hardy had published. In it, Hardy referred to a decades-old prime number theorem. It asserted that a specific term's precise order has not been determined.
Bombomini
Ramanujan
Gosini.
disagrees, and he even provides a solution.
Of course.
To Hardy, this sounds insane. A poor clerk without a college degree claims he knows better than some of the most famous mathematicians in history. But Ramanujan doesn't stop there. He's attached to these 9 pages filled with equations, hoping they might be published. And, of course, he wants Hardy's feedback. Hardy studies the pages, neatly arranged equations, laid out in style of cards.
90% of people in this position would just fucking steal work and publish it as their own. Let's be honest. It happens all the time.
The content is unlike anything he's ever seen. The numbers and symbols are familiar, but their arrangement is alien, as if they came from another world. Some of the equations are crisp and clear, but seem outright impossible, like the one where Ramanujan claims that rather than infinity, the sum of all natural numbers can be written as -112. A statement that surprisingly turns out to be true.
Gorillo watermelon drill.
Usually add numbers.
Gorillo watermelon drillo. Gorillo watermelon drillo. Lucky block.
For what he has come up with. Hardy's first reaction is suspicion. This has to be some kind of hoax.
Lucky block.
He sets the letter
Lucky
aside
lucky
to pick up the
block.
newspaper, just like any other ordinary day. But the letter continues to linger on his mind. What if this poor Indian clerk is actually brilliant? Hardy shows Ramanujan's letter to almost everyone around him at Cambridge. He sends parts of it to experts in specific fields. And he reaches out to a colleague, John Littlewood. He's just 2 years older than Ramanujan. Unlike him, Littlewood had received the finest education. And like Hardy, he's already regarded as one of the leading mathematicians of his generation. The two spend hours poring over the formulas. After a while, they make a discovery. Not every formula is new. Even so, only a mathematician of the highest caliber could have produced work like this. The more they analyze the work, the more dazzled they become. Hardy and Littlewood are convinced that even the toughest exams wouldn't cover the kinds of theorems he's creating. They're just too advanced. Just before midnight, they reach their conclusion. These formulas must be true, because if they were not, no one would have the imagination to invent them.
Yeah, it makes sense.
This isn't merely the work of an exceptional mathematician. This is the work of a genius. Hardy decides to write back. He's thrilled by Ramanujan's ideas, but insists on something crucial: proof, rigorous, step-by-step documentation, showing how Ramanujan arrived at his formulas. Hardy makes it crystal clear. Without proper proof, the value of his work can't be properly judged. But Ramanujan never truly learned how to provide proof. His favorite book, a collection of formulas, rarely provided any. And the Indian education system at the time didn't emphasize that either. Still, Hardy's letter is full of encouragement. He writes that he's deeply impressed Ramanujan developed all of this without a college education, and that his work could in fact be published.
If you can produce satisfactory demonstration, I should be very glad to do what I can to secure it.
Hardy wants Ramanujan here, in England. When Ramanujan learns of the invitation, his mind starts to race. But he can't go, not because of his failed exams or missing degrees, but because of his faith. As a Brahmin Hindu, Ramanujan isn't allowed to cross the sea. For him and his family, these rules matter deeply. If a devout Hindu like Ramanujan were to travel to England, he could be expelled from his caste. He might no longer be welcome in the homes of his friends and family, or even be allowed to enter a temple again. For now, Ramanujan is tied to India.
Great things require great
Still,
sacrifice.
with Hardy, there is finally someone who listens to him, someone who takes him seriously. His letters move him deeply. When he replies, he doesn't hold back his joy.
I have found a friend in you.
Ramanujan knows that he's smart.
What I want at this stage is for eminent professors like you to recognize that there is some worth in me.
Hardy and Ramanujan exchange letters for months. Ramanujan tries to include proofs for some of his theorems, but they're often incomplete. Hardy remains determined to bring Ramanujan tries
which sometimes rival.
To include proofs for some of his theorems, but they're often incomplete. Hardy remains determined to bring him to Cambridge, to nurture his talent, and to finally talk in person about his extraordinary formulas. But there's only one person with the power to let Ramanujan go. His mother has always been a central figure in his life. She's more than a parent, she's a friend. They enjoy each other's company, they understand each other, and for her, living by the rules of the Brahmin caste is essential. She's firmly against the idea of a son crossing the ocean, and for Ramanujan, her disapproval carries real weight. But one night, Ramanujan's mother has a dream. In it, she sees her son surrounded by demons. She hears the voice of the goddess Namagiri, their family deity. The goddess tells her not to stand in the way of her son's destiny, not to block the path to the purpose he was born to fulfill. The dream leaves a deep impression on Ramanujan's mother. To her, it's a clear sign, a message she can't ignore. She listens to the goddess, and gives Ramanujan her blessing to sail to Europe.
True.
Meanwhile, Hardy and his colleagues do everything in their power to secure him a scholarship. Somehow, they persuade Madras University to support him. They provide him with funding for a 2-year stay in Cambridge. Nothing's stopping Ramanujan now. He can finally go where the greatest minds in mathematics are. On March 17, 1914, the 26-year-old boards a ship to Europe with Western clothes. But his new life in England will be nothing like he imagined. Eventually, this foreign country will break him.
When
Ramanujan arrives in London, he's overwhelmed. Nearly 5 million people live here, 10 times more than in Madras. The city is fast, loud, and vastly different from Ramanujan's quiet life in South India. In the early days, one of Hardy's colleagues looks after Ramanujan. He even lets him stay in his home. Later, Ramanujan moves to Whale Court in Cambridge, just 5 minutes away from Hardy. In this unfamiliar world, Ramanujan faces new challenges. He now eats with knives and forks, something he finds awful. Hard metallic things penetrating the mouth, he says.
Chat, how would they even fund some of this stuff? No, because I feel like, is there a lot of money that they can attribute to this type of research? These are like some theorems and numbers and universe or whatever. I mean, you're going really?
And he struggles to remember the English names of the people he meets. Still, those early days have their joys. Spring arrives with beautiful weather, and for a moment, everything feels full of promise. Ramanujan is simply happy to be in this mathematical heaven, where his ideas no longer drop from his words. Most importantly, he now gets to work closely with Hardy and Littlewood, the two elite mathematicians who sifted through his notes and saw the brilliance within. Ramanujan meets with Hardy and Littlewood several times a week. Hardy is especially eager to dive into Ramanujan's numbers. So day after day, they sit together, working through those strange but beautiful equations. Now, with no ocean between them, it's finally easier for Ramanujan to explain his ideas. He can show Hardy
Gorillo watermelon drill.
The formulas he spent years developing through tireless effort and isolation. Back in India, Ramanujan was always alone. Just Carr's book, his own notes, and his relentless drive. No one around him truly understood his work. But now he has real companions. Although he's living in an unfamiliar country, the presence more than makes up for it.
Like, what if they had computers? Let's say they were spawned in today. Boom, spawn this guy in right now with all the computers. You think he would invent some fucking theorem or some shit that would like break like everything?
Most of the time, Ramanujan is tucked away in his or Hardy's room, lost in mathematics. He's rarely seen outside, but when he is, people spot him waddling across the court in slippers. Western shoes are too tight for him. When Hardy studies Ramanujan's notebooks, he's fascinated with his intuitive approach to mathematics. It's nothing like the methods of Cambridge-trained mathematicians. Hardy is especially impressed by Ramanujan's insight into algebraic formulas.
I know some of this.
Blueberrini
Look,
octopusi.
124. Dude, that's like earlier, chat, with the 112. 112, 124, that's just times twice.
And into the transformation of infinite series. Some of his other mathematicians had found 50
Bombomini Gusini.
Ramanujan often found new ways to obtain them, but large parts of his notebooks consist of entirely new formulas. At the time, Hardy and Littlewood were only beginning to scratch the surface of Ramanujan's work, and even decades later, mathematicians will still be wrestling with the depth and mystery of the formulas he left behind. Hardy begins to understand how deeply, almost spiritually, Ramanujan connects with numbers. There's a moment when Hardy visits Ramanujan by cab and he notices a number on it, 1729. When he tells Ramanujan about it, he calls it a rather dull number. Ramanujan expects much more in it. But what exactly does he see? We invited Derek, and we're good friends with Fantastic, to help make sense of this.
He sees the numbers in images. He's got this
Ramanujan's immediate response is that 1729 is a fascinating number because it's the smallest number that can be written as the sum of two cubes in two different ways.
Cubic numbers are just one number multiplied by itself 3 times. So you can have 1 cubed, 2 cubed, 3 cubed, and so on. Now you can start adding some of these together. For example, 1 cubed plus 2 cubed is 9.
Guys, you know the savant, the genius guy, Rain Man? The movie was inspired by the real guy named Kim Peeks. Hold on, and the man who was with numbers or whatever, he saw images and shapes and whatnot, and he would describe them, and that's how he got to all the answers that you didn't see the numbers. So something completely different.
Or 3 cubed plus 4 cubed equals 91. If we list all numbers up to 100, what you find is that most numbers can't be written as the sum of 2 cubes at all. And even if you can only write it in one unique
Gorillo
way.
Watermelon Dream.
Same is true for all numbers up to 500, 1,000, or even 1,500. But it changes at 1729. This is the smallest number that can be written as 1 cubed plus 12 cubed and as 9 cubed plus 10 cubed.
Ramanujan already knew about this number, and he recognized it as soon as Hardy mentioned his taxi. In fact, mathematicians named these taxicab numbers after that very conversation. But
Gorillo Watermelon Dream.
grasp of numbers can perhaps be best seen with pi.
Trick track
Pi is the ratio of a circle's circumference to its diameter, but what makes it special is that it has an infinite number of non-repeating digits. For centuries, mathematicians worked on finding better and better ways to write down pi. In the 17th century, the famous German mathematician Gottfried Leibniz wrote down the following formula. His formula uses an infinite sum over n.
Yeah.
We can start approximating this by taking the expression and replacing n with 0. Next, we add another term, but now we set n equal to 1. And if you keep doing this, you get closer and closer to the true value. If we broke it down and rearranged to find pi, the result would look something like this. Theoretically, if we repeated this process all the way from 0 to infinity, the answer would be exactly pi.
But of course, writing down an infinite number of terms is impossible. We have to stop somewhere, and that means our answer will just be an approximation. The more terms we add, the better the estimate.
We can see this on a graph. For each additional term, the result of the Leibniz formula bounces around, but it slowly gets closer and closer to pi. Using this method, after adding the first 10 terms, we have an answer of 3.0418. Well, that's not very good. How about 1,000 terms? Now we get 3.1405. Better, but still not great. In fact, using the Leibniz formula, we'd need to add millions of terms together to get just a few correct decimal places. This wasn't good enough for Ramanujan, and so he came up with his own formula. What's remarkable about this expression is that by adding just one term, you correctly calculate the first 8 digits of pi, which is better than the estimate we got from Leibniz's formula when we added 1,000,000 terms. The result is so good that looking at the graph from earlier, Ramanujan's estimate immediately sits right on top of the true value of pi at this scale. You'd have to zoom way in to even see the difference. Somehow, Ramanujan derived a formula for pi so powerful that even decades later, it was still used to correctly calculate millions of digits of pi.
Chat, what if it becomes so good if you do it so many times, it actually becomes better than pi, and then we find the actual value of pi that ends somewhere instead of it being infinite.
And that's just one part of his legacy. Other formulas have found surprising applications in computing areas like string theory.
Remarkably, part of his work is so deep and cryptic that mathematicians are still trying to understand it today.
We're huge fans of Veritasium. A while ago, they published an amazing video on a special method
Gorillo Watermelon Dream
is in the description. Hardy sees Ramanujan's talent and wants to help him publish parts of his work, but he also knows it needs a lot of polishing, improving English, refining the notation, shaping the results. So Hardy steps in as Ramanujan's editor. In 1914, Ramanujan Mathematics is his first paper in England, a study on approximations of pi. It's work he began back in India, and he likely could have gone on publishing directly from the notebooks. But over time, Hardy encourages him to go further. He wants Ramanujan to create new mathematics, using new methods he's teaching him. So for now, Ramanujan sets the notebooks aside. Hardy's guidance sparks new enthusiasm in Ramanujan. Just a year later, he publishes 9 papers. One of them focuses on what he calls highly composite numbers, numbers with more divisors than any smaller number. Hardy praises the extraordinary insight Ramanujan shows in the work. One day, Ramanujan tries to explain the concept to a student and another mathematician. As he flips quickly through the pages, sharing idea after idea, the mathematician struggles to keep up and ends up with a splitting headache. Ramanujan is happy. His scholarship pays well, nearly 4 times the annual salary of an English industrial worker at the time, and he has something just as valuable as the money, the freedom to focus entirely on his mathematics. Ramanujan goes on to publish one remarkable paper after another, with Hardy helping to polish the proofs and presentation. They even collaborate on projects. But at the same time, life is growing more difficult for Ramanujan.
Oh no!
Ramanujan is in England at one of the worst possible times. In 1914, World War I breaks out. It marks the beginning of a dark chapter for Europe, and for England. Ramanujan feels the impact as most students head off to war. Many won't return. Even Littlewood, with whom Ramanujan had grown close, leaves to contribute to the war effort. In the years that follow, Ramanujan becomes increasingly isolated. He withdraws, rents his room, and often works.
Well, they were sending nerdy mathematicians at the war? Is that how thin the numbers were?
Through the night. On top of that, the English climate is harsh, especially for someone from South India, where it's never cold. One cold winter's day, in 1914, a student visits Ramanujan in his room at Trinity College, where he's now living. The room is freezing, and Ramanujan sits close to the fire. He tells his visitor it's been so cold he's had to sleep in his overcoat, wrapped in a scarf. Concerned, the student checks to see if Ramanujan has enough blankets. He finds them neatly folded and tucked away in the bed. And then it hits him. Ramanujan doesn't know how to use them. When the student shows him how, Ramanujan is deeply grateful. The war makes it harder for Ramanujan to follow his caste rules around food. Before leaving India, he had promised his mother to stick to them, only vegetarian meals, prepared and eaten in the presence of Brahmins. So Ramanujan mostly cooks for himself, simple things like rice, yogurt, and fruit. But as the war drags on, ingredients become scarce, prices increase. Eventually, he survives on little more than rice with salt and juice. Without proper nutrition, his health begins to deteriorate. Through these difficult years, Ramanujan's relationship with Hardy becomes an anchor. Hardy turns into the best friend Ramanujan ever had, and seeing his immense potential, Hardy pushes him.
How about you cook him a fucking meal, bum-ass, bitch-ass? Like, what is up with these UK people? Yo, if it's not beans on toast, how about you cook him a meal? Why not? He does for him. What? Why you can't?
He wants Ramanujan to go further, to reach the full limits of his genius. Ramanujan, in turn, becomes addicted to Hardy's praise. He wants to live up to it, to prove himself worthy. But that pressure only deepens the strain. Unlike back home, there's no one here to remind him to rest, no one to cook while he works, no one to comfort him as his isolation and suffering grow. His passion for mathematics, and even his bond with Hardy, can't fill those gaps. By 1917, Ramanujan becomes seriously ill. It's not clear what exactly he suffered from. Tuberculosis. Others suspect it's an intestinal disease. Nutrients were taking their toll. When Hardy learns of this, he writes to the University in Madras, stating that Ramanujan is suffering from an incurable disease. Ramanujan is sent to a nursing home, but even while sick, he isn't an easy patient. He stays picky about food, constantly complains about his aching body, and doesn't believe in medicine. Even Hardy admits,
it is very difficult to get him to take proper care of himself.
Over the next 2 years, Ramanujan sees multiple doctors and spends time in at least 4 different hospitals and sanatoriums. During this time, letters from his family and even from his wife become fewer and farther between. The silence weighs on him, and he becomes more and more depressed. Until one day, he simply can't take it anymore. Ramanujan stands alone on the platform of the London Underground station. A train approaches, and Ramanujan throws himself to the tracks. Happening. He rushes over and pulls the emergency switch. The train screeches and comes to a halt just a few feet in front of Ramanujan.
Holy.
Policemen drag him out of the station. At the time, attempted suicide is considered a crime in England. Ramanujan is arrested and brought to Scotland Yard. Hardy gets called to the police and he uses all his charm and athletic status to assure the policeman this person is no criminal, but an absolute genius. So they decide to let him go. The officer in charge later admits that they didn't want to ruin his life. Ramanujan returned to another nursing home. Then, in February 1918, he received a telegram from Hardy with news so unexpected he can hardly believe it. Ramanujan has been elected a Fellow of the Royal Society, one of the youngest in history. It's among the highest honors in science, reserved for those with truly exceptional insight. Past fellows include names like Isaac Newton and Charles Darwin.
Jesus!
Ramanujan is thrilled. He writes back to Hardy, saying his words aren't enough to express his gratitude. But Ramanujan is still seriously ill, now undergoing treatment for tuberculosis. He suffers from high fevers and unexplained pain. While still in the nursing home, Ramanujan receives
Cavallo virtuoso. Cavallo virtuoso.
The news could return home to India and even come back to England occasionally for research. By now, Ramanujan...
This is a stop. And then I say that's positive about myself. You guys always say this bullshit fucking
Cavallo
delusional. Every time. Every time. Why?
Cavallo virtuoso.
He accepts the offer and leaves Hardy in
Cavallo virtuoso.
A place that gave him so much, but also left
Cavallo virtuoso. Cavallo virtuoso.
Ramanujan arrives in
Cavallo
Bombay.
virtuoso.
His mother is there to welcome him. Back in Madras, Ramanujan finally realizes his wife. She's been 13 years old.
Cavallo
Now she's
virtuoso.
18. When the secretary of the Indian Mathematical Society sees Ramanujan in Madras, he's shocked. He looks awful.
Cavallo virtuoso. Cavallo
He isn't cheerful
virtuoso.
and affectionate anymore, but depressed.
Cavallo
Doctors
virtuoso.
advise Ramanujan to move somewhere cooler to support his recovery.
Ну
So
что
he
это,
relocates to a
блядь?
town near his birthplace, and later returns to the place where he spent
Cavallo virtuoso.
Kumbakonam. This time, his wife
Cavallo
is with him.
virtuoso.
Doctors
Cavallo
visit him,
virtuoso.
examine his
Ничего не работает, смотрите,
But his
удары
health
не
continues.
работают,
Cavallo
ничего не работает.
virtuoso.
Я бы рад нахуй.
Cavallo
In
virtuoso.
January
Okay,
1920,
Cavallo
This
virtuoso.
is a burning question. I get it.
Cavallo
Is
virtuoso.
it more like a pre-wife, like pre-approved, like
Cavallo
it's
virtuoso.
like assigning somebody
Cavallo
to whatever,
virtuoso.
and then later on they're like actually dating, or is it like a normal marriage off the rip, way down? Like, I don't think that makes it good. I'm saying it's distinctively different. Like, I asked the question. It's a question about information, so I understand it. Jesus, it's like, okay, yeah, I get it. It's like pre-order.
Пиздец, просто ничего не
Understandable.
работает. Я в
But
ахуе нахуй, просто
there's
это
no,
пиздец
like,
какой-то.
weird
Просто
contact or
лайки
whatever.
нахуй.
Like,
Лайки,
Ramanujan
которых
early
нет
on.
оттуда, и
Last
просто
time.
нету,
He
нету
shares what
лагов,
he calls a
но
new
они
invention,
есть.
mock data
Лагов быть не
functions.
может, нахуй,
and
но они
includes
есть.
examples.
Отлично, нахуй.
These functions
Просто
are
лагов быть не
extraordinary,
может, они есть. нахуй.
mysterious, and for
Охуенно,
Not
decades,
early access.
no one will
very
fully
nice.
Okay.
Отлично,
So
отлично.
it's pre-order with no pre-access.
Какой же
Is what you're
цирк ебаный,
saying.
нахуй.
You're missing the point. That would be a pre-order that you don't get to have early access.
understand them. They would become his final legacy. By that time, Ramanujan is just skin and bones. The pain is constant and intense. His wife tends to him, placing hot towels on his legs and chest, trying to ease the suffering. Even then, 4 days before his death, he still bath.
All I can tell you is that day and night he worked on something. He didn't
Glorbo-
do anything else. He wasn't interested in anything else, just some. He wouldn't stop work even to eat. We had to make rice balls for him and place them in the palm of his hand. Isn't that extraordinary?
Yes.
On April 26, 1920, Ramanujan falls unconscious. His wife sits by his side, trying to feed him diluted milk.
You should solve the Millennium Prize problems on stream. And they're unsolved problems with a $1 million prize for each. And you'd be the equivalent of a Nobel Prize if you win. Yo, if I did it on stream, I get $1 million and a Nobel Prize?
Mid-morning, he passes. He's just 32 years old.
For him, in this universe,
Give me the
math
problems.
is everything.
Give me the problems.
On
What the fuck
his
now?
deathbed, He told me that his name
Give
would
me the
live
problems.
for 100 years.
Okay, here comes chat. I actually enjoyed the video a lot. I think that was a good video. That was interesting. I feel like there's a lot of things we're missing. But, bang. Boom. Give me a few of them. Give me a few of them.
Ну, блядь, в этом даже нет смысла продолжать играть нахуй, потому что дальше, блядь, просто одни сервера будут одни 9-е левела, нахуй, и они гарантированно у тебя будут сидеть в бронероты, если у меня, нахуй, нихуя, блядь, удары не работают, ничего не работает, блядь, просто классно. Компи не работает, мне ничего не работает, нахуй. Просто чела бью, нахуй, в упор, по нему удары не считаются. В меня все удары засчитываются, нахуй, все, блядь, каждый, нахуй. Просто почувствую. Very nice.
Oh, I actually know about this.
Несмотря на всю правильность своих ударов.
Let's see, Chad, which one's the easy one, Chad, that I'm more likely to finish? It looks nice. I like these shapes. These shapes, they speak to me. They speak to me. I feel like the Yang Mills mass gap is where I perform.
Даже ливнуть нельзя, нахуй, нормально, блядь. Вон, чела, блядь, нахуй, просто грузишься этого чела, блядь, внутри их, даже не кикает. В течение 30 секунд не должно быть возможности вообще, в принципе, порвать сначала. Но, блядь, классно. Типа как, 30 минут нельзя что-то там делать, а нельзя ломать... Донатить против него, нахуй, но при этом можно...
I think my time is not well used. So he says PNNP. I'm not good at one. I feel like if I do it, it'll take too much time. But this one probably is doable, no? Dude, an hour 30?
Polynomial size for decision problems. The answer is yes or no. So it has language.
Ну чё за лаги, блядь?
So it's easy to show that a problem
It's been too long. Tell us about the ship of pieces.
And verification algorithm is...
What the fuck?
And the somewhat different two single-digit numbers are multiplying two single-digit.
It's like a vector.
They're doing about 2n squared operations.
So
as the size of
Блядь, просто пиздец лаги.
the running time is quadratic.
Guys, I feel like this is true capitalism on my end, and it's just greed to rob Aspire Metavisions from $1 million if I solve this. It's just unfair. I feel like I'm gonna get canceled if I do it, so I'm not gonna do it. You understand what I'm saying? People say, "Oh, you're already rich. Why are you trying to get more money?" And it's just not right. So it's all yours. Go get the $1 million. This one is the easiest for you. Stroke, existence, smoothness problems. Which models fluid like in water, the solution that are smooth. Equation.
To give you an equation.
Is it model weather? Many don't know if every puddle of fluid in the solution, the math will always behave nicely forever. At some point, it would blow up into nonsense.
Просто nice like enough.
That's the answer. The answer is no.
Impressive.
You have done a lot for me.
I don't have to prove it. The same way that the guy in the video didn't prove his shit.
Work, man, and much love.
Why do I have to prove it then?
Oh, you're not working this week.
Ебануться нахуй.
We're expecting that, were you?
Is it okay? That's AI clanker.
Bombomini Gusini.
No. It's... I'm just not slow, but I'm slow.
Like bimbo type of slow? Like bimbo via Google is an attractive but unintelligent or frivolous young woman.
Это пиздец какой-то нахуй.
intelligent, or frivolous young woman.
Chat, this is both. Hold on, let me click on this. This is both McDonald's and the song in Zombies. Wait, they sampled McDonald's then.
Bombomini Gusini.
Dude, what a banger though, dude.
You live in a $5 million house. You buy nice clothes, you buy designer, you buy jewelry, you buy everything you want to do. You never donate to anything that you preach and all this stuff. You contradict yourself every time. You're a terrorist. You don't even like America. He doesn't. He doesn't, Chad. He really, really doesn't. I'm just being real. He doesn't. Okay? Now, here's what I will say as well.
Ну, бля, просто чел перед третьим левелом.
Chat, it is like unintentionally funny to find. Zombies with Ron? Dude, I would do Zombies with Ron, but the reality is that 20 minutes into the game is gonna start yapping about the most outrageous shit. When the content gets low, he's gonna start talking about some shit, like Aiden does it, and then we're gonna quit mid game before anybody dies or is it on purpose. I'm familiar with his game, dude. I'm familiar with his game.
These are soldiers.
If you pull the emergency door handle during a flight, most people think it would fly off, and passengers would be sucked out.
This guy doesn't like me watching his videos. I'm not gonna watch it.
7 career wins. Let's go down to Mobile One victory lane, Dylan.
Wait, he died?
Oh my gosh, he fell. 7 wins. Let's go down to Mobile One victory lane, Dylan.
Yeah, I don't even fall on his neck like that. The collarbone, yeah. Anyway. I think landing on your neck is generally kind of hard. Like it's not like.
Куда спавнили space?
Yeah, it just kind of is. It just kind of is. Like landing on your actual neck is like you'd have to be so unlucky. It's like insane. Chat, no joke, chat. Yeah, no small story. Chat. When I was young, I actually came really close though. Like I landed on my neck on a in between a foam pit and the trampoline. I was practicing triples. I was trying to do triples. I did triple and I landed my neck straight up. But as a trampolinist, you know how to fall. So I did the tuck thing, right? I tucked, right? So I went on my neck, and it still came so close that, dude,
Orcalero Orcala.
For like 30 seconds. It was crazy. I thought, generally, because of how I thought like the nerves got split up, and I thought my whole body down below, I couldn't breathe because the nerve was cut. I was so scared. this is the people that play this game and that call me bad at the game. This is you guys. Let's be honest. Guys, let's be honest. This is you guys.
A guy named Tortop Pounder just typed this boring, put on 4.
I'm mid-diamond at this game. I'm mid-diamond, by the way.
Forever from the chat, and I need you to send me. I'm gonna get his IP address. I gotta send this to King. So I don't want him to make new account. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm not saying that this is actually gonna happen. Of course, I have no way of knowing this. I think that guy may in the future.
What?
Cavallo virtuoso. Bombomini Gusini.
I'm not reacting. That was Lacey cleaning his... Pick earnings, apparently. Really, dude? I'm not watching this. Good job. Very nice. If this goes 100 mil, I'm gonna be able to do. I would pay 100 mil not to live in there.
Hello, my juicer. Did you shower this month? I can smell you through my screen.
Is this good? Okay. Anyway, how about we cook up a beat? No? Is it still making beats right now? Alright, chat, just reach out, I'll make a beat. I'll make a chat in 20 minutes, ready? Chat, I have not opened this program in forever. Chat, what do we want this to sound like? Thoughts?
Bombomini Gusini.
Chat doesn't want it.
Где ты, чел? Ты что ты делаешь, бля, ебан?
Like ADL is coming.
Ну что ты делаешь?
Bombomini Gusini.
This stuff has some guitar in it, I'm not good at the guitar.
You couldn't live it, couldn't be it, couldn't want it.
I'm usually good at this. It's ba 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 ba. That's easy. I can do this. I can do that. Tell me what you want. I missed a quick version. To all this type beta. The problem with this is that this is kind of easy. Hold on. It's easy to start and make it sound almost like it. It's incredibly hard to make it sound exactly like it, or like that. The finish is so hard on this one.
Jesus.
Wanna know why? Because Chat, what genre is this, chat? It's hyper pop, right? Okay, I love this type of music. You know what? Let me try it. Osama-san type beat. No, I'm not doing it. Chat, give me a song that is hyper pop. I like that actually. I like this.
100 gex type beat.
No, I can't do that. That's crazy. That's insane. That's way big.
Bombardiro crocodilo. Bombardiro crocodilo.
Okay. I don't want to find levels on each other. This is incredibly difficult. Apparently though, this uses like samples as notes. I cannot do this. Okay, yeah. Old one type beat, exactly. I think it's exactly all these days.
Классно.
Pandaccini bananini.
I actually love.
За 2,5 уже застиг. Просто потому что на дне написано миссия.
You know, I can do this. Chat, you know what's crazy, chat? I actually like every time you see sounds like this. I tell you guys, I like them. Like saws. I think that's what they're called. The saws. It saturates the sound of it. Right? I can do that. If I do once. Oh, I have one. Remember today? I had one. I saw. I think I saved it. It's my favorites. I think my favorites.
Чел. О, классный он, блин, в самом конце.
Sigma boy.
This one, that's I think this is really good. Hold on.
Охуеть, блять, просто лаги. Лаги нахуй, прокликивание нахуй ебаное. Отлично.
I like one. I think this is good. Let me just try to make a thing with this. Hold on.
What?
Oh no, guys, I did a bunch of things I shouldn't have done. I forgot how to make a melody. You got it. Hold on.
Ну, что это за 6 секунд, Ивана?
Glorbo fruttodrillo.
Actually, realize one. I think this is good. I think this is pretty good. I think it's a good start.
Fuck you, chat X.
What if it made that lock it higher though?
Нет моего хуйни, блядь. Не нужно. Класс.
It's not terrible. Yeah. Gate preset. Oh yeah, Grows beat the motherfucker. Hold on, guys. I'm cooking something. I'm cooking, chat. It's about to get crazy. Let me get a clipper on this. Clipper. Dude, I'm so bad. Clipper on main. Go to 1. End. Boom. Go to 1. Grows beat this motherfucker. Nope, it sucks. Maybe go next. Maybe chat. We get a over here.
Вот здесь. Не взял. Пишет там, эй, ну что это за хуйня, блядь, чел, это же...
One time.
Hey.
1, 2 time.
Hey.
Okay, so we're done with that. Hold on. Unless, yeah, when it's complemented, maybe it goes crazy. Wait, that can be done.
Bombardiro crocodilo.
Hold on. We can remove it later and give it, because we don't know what it is. We only know what it is. So let's not put that in the weight. Hold on. What we're listening to a minute? Yeah, that is vibration. No. Oh, this is garbage. This thing loses, just suck it. Ass straight. This is hyper pop, but it has like old school techno sounds in there, dude. I hate this. I can't even hear the sounds because it's sidechained like crazy. It's like the sound in the background. I I'm beginning to hear it, and I can't hear it anymore. Okay, just give me chat. Let's just browse some sounds. How about that?
Блять, просто я рот ебал этих лагов ебаных.
Let's do the technique that what we're looking for first. A lady. Because I don't like Sarah, man. What's up? Yo, you wanna play a run? Let's just do a play. We're gonna play this and we're gonna give it a so what? What's up?
You wanna play something?
Play like what?
I don't know. I mean, there's many games. We can hop on Rust. We can hop on H1Z1. We can hop on Call of Duty. We can hop on Skate 3. We could hop on Zombies. We can hop on Valorant. We can hop on...
Zombies is fun if you lock in.
Huh?
Zombies is fun if you lock in. I don't have serum, chat. What's serum?
What?
Zombies can be fun if you lock in.
So what do you want to play?
I will play literally anything except for the first thing you mentioned.
H1Z1?
Yeah.
Rust?
Not H1Z1. I don't mind playing Rust, but
Zombies?
I mean, Rust can be fun on paper. But the reality is that people that on the server we're gonna join in are gonna have like bases already, and they're gonna come in and give us everything, and it's gonna be really fucking lame.
They're also saying Peterbot. I don't know what that means.
Peterbot?
They're saying if we get on Rust Peterbot. I don't know what that means.
Oh no, it means that we're gonna get a lot of Peterbot in our games. And I don't mean sweaty players like that. That's not how I mean it. I mean more like a in-game aspect of it. Yeah. Feel me?
Alright, so what we on, bro? Like, we can also just sit on FaceTime and chill.
Yeah, we did it on our own time.
I don't know, we could end stream, just hang out, me and you, like on FaceTime.
I'm good on that, but hey, you do you, man. So what do you want to do though? I like this.
Yo, dumbass, can you pick a day, please?
Oh, we can do tomorrow, yeah.
What?
You said pick a day, no?
Yes, can you pick a day that you want to do? Can we do it on Friday?
Yeah.
Or tomorrow? Tomorrow, you want?
Tomorrow's fine.
Okay, you want to do tomorrow or what time?
What's up? Oh,
Серьезно, нахуй? Серьезно, серьезно, блядь, серьезно, нахуй.
Go where?
Ой, боже, нахуй. My luck.
Oh, okay, then tomorrow, son.
Okay, what time tomorrow?
It's 5 p.m.
5 p.m. your time?
Your time, my time, yeah. So 2 p.m. your time.
Okay, you promise?
Yes, 5 p.m. my time, yes.
You promise?
I promise, yeah. But what are we doing though?
I'm gonna give you a 99 kill lead on Fortnite.
Oh, that thing, sure.
Okay, if you don't wake up at that time, you're not my friend no more, okay? Everyone knows now that tomorrow's gonna be the day.
Okay.
You promise?
Yeah, promise.
Okay, I'm gonna make a tweet, so if you lie, then I'm gonna take my life.
Okay. Oh, thank fucking God. Yo, you know how long I've been waiting for that, by the way? You have any idea?
What is wrong? You mean that?
No, I don't mean that. You're my best friend.
Really?
Yeah. Live change! Live change! Live on air! Boom! I gotta go. Let's see it out. Chat, is this the I-95?
Yeah, we can get behind it for now.
Chat, give me other broadcasts that have more audio and better casters.
Thank you everyone who is joining us here in News Chopper 4. I'm Emiliano Marino alongside my
Bombomini Gusini.
We're following a police
Bombomini Gusini. Bombomini Gusini. Bombomini Gusini.
Looks like he's setting up to stay south, which would force him onto that 5 freeway, but we'll see what he does.
It's already visible on the side though.
A number of options here as he comes into the New Hall Pass where the 14 and the 5 come together.
Bombomini Gusini. 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 Bombomini Gusini.
What?
They even shot at the rightful owner. At this point, unknown how that person.
Я просто рот ебал, нахуй. Я просто рот ебал. Я просто рот ебал. Просто этой кривой залупа, нахуй, блять, просто это пиздец, нахуй. Просто рот ебал.
Yeah, holy chat. No chat?
Просто пиздец какой-то, нахуй.
So the car itself is described as a Ford F-150 taken at gunpoint. And apparently they used that gun again. Oh, shots fired!
Whoa!
Said.
Whoa!
Wow. Their officers are saying that the suspect opened fire on them.
Yeah, I think the back window was broken. No.
Anyone was hit. Wow, that was really scary. The sound of the officer's voice saying that he had just been fired.
Give me comms! Give me comms! Give me alternate broadcast before everybody in the chat.
Bombardiro crocodilo.
Alternate fucking broadcast and police comms.
But again, they're saying that the people in this vehicle opened fire on the officers that are chasing them. So this really just got really dangerous. Southbound here on the 5 freeway, just south of the New Hall Pass. The suspects are slowing down a little bit. He's losing one tire here, maybe two. Apparently he did run over a spike strip. So I'm going to be really careful at the end of this, guys, because we don't know what's going to happen here as this comes to a stop. Again, he ran over a spike strip. Looks like he's losing
off-road!
tires, going off-roading here on the 5 freeway.
What's up, X?
That
Mexican
would have put him on a San Fernando road, but it looks like he's going to try to get back on the 5 freeway. So back now.
Hold on, what's up, man?
5 freeway. And, he's losing tires here. You see right there, that front tire, it's about to go. He ran over the spike strip. This was right at the time that I heard the
sideways wheel.
Shots fired on the scanner.
Chat, I think this car is lifted up like risen. So if the wheel goes off, I mean, I think it loses balance entirely.
It was a pursuit of a carjacking suspect. He took this vehicle from the rightful owner.
This guy's done. He's done.
Ну что это за хуйня тупейшая, блядь, просто тупейшая, блядь. Хуйня тупая, это просто пиздец. Просто клоунская, нахуй. Просто классная. Причем работает на одного центре, нахуй. На одного, нахуй. Просто классно. Не должен был задефать так спокойно, нахуй. Просто заебись. Меня один чел, нахуй, может застилить без проблем, нахуй. Чел как-то задефал всех, нахуй, блядь. Верим, нахуй. Просто классно. Там еще и несколько чел было просто. Very nice.
What's going?
Outbound 5 from Oxford. You can just out there pretty dark here, but up
the car. Whoa, hey!
Is actually
carjacking.
Disabled. George, if we can move a little to the left, or right rather, sorry. So there's a vehicle that was there. It was either disabled or it was waiting to exit.
He's probably pointing a gun.
Oxford off ramp, but you see the door opening. This is really scary. No, these guys are armed. They might try to carjack this person. I don't want to zoom in too much. Yeah, they may try to carjack that person. Hopefully that person had their door locked.
Holy shit!
Серьезно, нахуй.
This guy's crazy!
Мне прогрузили вот эту просто пустую базу на похуй. Нормально.
About what just happened there. This person is believed to be armed. 2 people in this. believed to be armed, and are trying to carjack.
Nah, I gotta hit him with the, like, sorry, no English, no habla or something.
On the north straddling the emergency barrier and the slow lane. This is a big vehicle, folks. It's a Ford truck, believed to be a Ford F. Again, taken at gunpoint from the rightful owners in the Lancaster area, and it was Lancaster.
Chat, he's looking to stop somebody. Like he's trying to slow somebody down so he can carjack them, I think.
Southbound on the 14, now southbound 5, and now northbound 5, but headed southbound in the northbound lanes.
Yeah, look at this guy. Yo, no way, no way.
People are probably really
no shot this guy.
Here's this driver in this pickup.
Run him over.
Please don't open the door. Please don't open the door. Yeah.
Yo.
This guy's back in the driver's side. Now,
they should have run the fuck over.
I heard was that there were 2 people in this vehicle. I haven't seen both at the same time, but we have seen whoever's driving that vehicle is a male.
Calm is to roll the fuck up and just open fire. Like, hello?
Described originally as 2 people in the car, and just keeps coming up to a truck here. Please move out of the way.
And there's a tanker, you moron! Hello?
We don't know what's gonna happen. I think the driver just ran out. The driver said you can have it. Oh my god.
He doesn't know how to drive that.
Yeah,
what is happening?
Do it there.
Oh, hell no!
Take the vehicle, and that's exactly what they did. So now 2 suspects in the semi here. Do they know how to drive a semi?
I mean, you guys are reverse was
unknown at this time. The car that they were in was a Ford, may have been a 250 or 350. We're still trying to figure that out.
Bro, get the fuck off the road! Oh my god, what is happening?
He doesn't get run over, but
he's just gonna block him.
Had a gun to her, so I can only imagine how scared he is to see his semi being taken away here with who knows.
Brother, what is happening?
Semi, it's some sort of hazardous material. Don't know. If I can see the stickers on the back at some point, we'll try to read it. And
what kind of car is it? Is this like a tanker?
Now a stolen semi, making its way north.
I don't think it's like standard tanker, like oil.
Wow.
Is it gas? I don't think so.
They're in the truck. They're in the semi. So they're going north, so they're gonna go behind.
Yeah, there's no sticker. Yeah, it's probably water or something like that. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. But that also means that he might be a lot heavier, no?
Yeah,
if it's not empty.
Yeah, exactly. I want to see if I can see the stickers here on the back to figure out what.
Bombardiro crocodilo.
Yo, I'm gonna be weird to say it. Anything at this point is on the fuck the cups are fucking liable. This is crazy. They should have started a long time. Like, he didn't even have a out. He didn't even able to identify that. Like, bro, fucking roll, fucking run the fuck over. Hello?
Bombardiro crocodilo. Bombardiro crocodilo.
Is it milk?
Bombardiro crocodilo.
The car was a Ford. Yeah.
I can't hear dispatch. I hang on my monitor. I can't hear it.
Try to read that. See if
are they just being silent?
Says the name of the
going outside of the DVR.
Number, a phone number, something off this side. Really scary moments here, folks. All unfolding live. Again, we heard that these suspects are armed, and during the pursuit,
the suspect, there's only one of them. Is there more than one?
That the suspect fired shots.
I only saw one. Am I stupid? Two. I'm dumb.
And clearly, they were able to carjack this vehicle from the rightful owner here, the driver of this semi. They came right up to him. They crashed right up to the front of his vehicle, and they basically told him, "Get out." We don't know if they brandished the weapon or not, but the driver complied. He got out. Secure takes the car, and that's exactly what happened. So, second vehicle that is
Могу с молоками банами
during the course of this pursuit. And again, we'll see if
I'm paying attention. I'm trying to do the code at the same time.
in this vehicle, if we can try to read some information on the side when we get in the right position for it. But for now, unknown what with this semi pursuit now headed northbound on the 5.
Well, 110 7748 empty.
No, it's
Male Hispanic. Stayed on the right shoulder with the vehicle.
So hopefully the back of that tanker is...
Wait, do I have the right colors?
It may possibly be milk, is what we're gathering. Committed 14 north, which is the way this pursuit began. It was...
I think they're talking about this. I think they swapped to encrypted channels. I could be wrong.
At Roxford, he had already lost one tire, then
I think these guys like another channel was talking about it, but it's not the actual comms. They went to encrypted. Unless this guy has it.
They fired shots at that driver and
vehicle to truck.
Anything brandished and when this
There's a silo.
Everybody is on it, bloodsucker!
30, cancel item 37 from incident 4171 and assign it to...
He's also close to where the helicopters fly from.
Yeah, he's right at the split here, so it looks like he's...
I think.
И чего за то посмотрелось?
1786, confirm you want all calls in your sec?
That was carjacked, the one that we
Ой, боже, кринж ебаный.
No, only chat. Only 2 of those. 1 or 2 of those are PD helis. The rest is all new leech station. When people heard carjacking, chase, they go, whatever, dude. Whenever they heard somebody is live over, maybe they catch somebody fucking down on camera, dude. Helis were already fucking in the air, buddy.
23 to 25 years, also wearing dark color clothing, black boots, sitting on the counter monitor cost for additional expenses in 4204 to 1601.
They woke Stu up, they woke Chris up, and fucking Desmond out of the fucking shed, and they yo, you're coming in, buddy.
Things that we
Fuck the comms. I'm gonna do the comms. If the comms civilized chat, let me know. I'll play them up.
Pursuit intervention tactics like a pit maneuver or...
Next in line on that ramp was this tank truck, and while they were still in their work utility pickup truck, they basically they crashed into this tanker truck. The driver got out. 2 people then got in. We saw other trucks in the area. We thought they might try and box them in and not allow them onto the freeway. But again, you see that was not able to happen.
Yeah,
on the right side is a replay, on the left side is a live look on the 5.
Ну что это за хуйня ебаная? Просто, ну что это за хуйня?
Wait, actually...
Цепись, блядь.
No, this is live, guys. This is early at the top. It was a replay.
We have not seen something like this. I don't remember a tanker truck. We've seen many vehicles taken over on Los Angeles freeways over the years, involved in pursuits. I cannot remember a tanker like this. And again, we do not know what this contains. We were looking for some of those hazmat warning signs on the back of the truck. I have not seen it. It's dark. It's tough to get you from this vantage point. Again, the right side of the 5 freeway here, that truck has now been carjacked and is being pursued.
What is the police doing?
It doesn't appear as though this truck is going very fast, but we did notice that that initial suspect is driving this tanker now.
When things really escalate, they tend to feel back to de-escalate or whatever. But the guy already got a new car. He's not likely to carjack again. So I don't know why they're creating distance again.
You know, it's not an easy thing.
No, it's unlikely because the reason why he swapped cars is the car was broken. This car is brand new.
Never driven one of these trucks. I don't think you'd be able to hop into that car and do what you guys are doing right now. I mean,
they might do it again, yeah, but
most trucks
not now.
Are not automatic. You have to drive a stick. You have to shift.
Pull in the tanker and shit. Makes sense.
Most drivers
Good call. Chatter.
Automatic transmissions. Manual transmission. I don't know how new this truck is, and again, I don't know what the payload is in that tanker. As Air 7 is trying to keep up on the 5 freeway, we're approaching the Newhall.
He's watching the stream.
On the 5 through Newhall. So we're heading north towards Castaic, up towards
Fun fact,
the
a lot of newer
Grapevine.
trucks are automatic. That one looks pretty new.
Did we lose that truck?
Next.
It's possible that it may have pulled ahead. It's possible it is. Well, that looks like the
from the San Fernando Valley, off of the roster exit of northbound 5, taken likely at gunpoint because these guys were armed, and it was the second vehicle that they had carjacked during the pursuit. The first one was a Ford. They were calling it an scanner, but looking at the vehicle in person, it did look much larger than either a Ford F-250 or a 350, but it basically became disabled when it lost a tire, so that's when they got out of that vehicle, tried to carjack a small...
That's 98G, guys. I am making it up to speed.
Little white car. That person didn't let them in, and thankfully that person's okay. They were able to continue on from there. But then the driver of this semi truck,
Avocadini guffo, bombomini gussini.
the suspect
Oh,
scratched
those guys are calm right
car, and then basically commandeered it, took it over, and
I'm gonna
the
take a risk on
driver
those comms and try to give it a shot. Also, this is lagging. I'm gonna swap back out to the other one.
It's dark out right now. You can see we even lost sight of it for a moment here, trying to see just how fast this driver is going right now. It looked as though it was maybe about 25 miles an hour, kind of at the end there, but doesn't look like it's moving too fast. As you can see, many cars, other vehicles are passing this driver on the 5 freeway.
Yeah, and I was curious once this began. Truck drivers talk to the CD, they have the radio. We have seen instances where trucks will collide with each other. You have a pair of big rigs that will basically block the entire roadway. So here we have a truck other truck drivers who were direct witnesses to this happening. And
wait,
I'm curious,
Hack Mr. Beast,
what can be
I
done,
got you.
if anything. You don't want to drive this truck off the road.
Chat, am I allowed to broadcast those comms? These are comms that I don't know how he's getting the comms, but I got them on Twitter. And I gotta tell AD to ban this Mr. Beast guy.
Bombomini gussini.
Что? Просто тычка автоматично засчитывается, нахуй. Просто классно. Very nice. Тут чел даже и не попадает даже близко. Просто пиздец.
Bombomini gussini.
Да, блять, похуй, да, на пушку, нахуй, вообще похуй. Да вообще похуй, сыглы. Тут сыглы, блять.
CHP officers, that's what that
I'm locked in. I got a chase going on.
So, a very dangerous situation, not only on the road, but
Yo, I couldn't hear anything. I couldn't hear. I want.
It's a little skinnier. It looks circular.
If I went southbound 5 under the tunnel, looks like the transition to the 14. That vehicle has not come out from underneath the tunnel.
Told us that we
25 copy, southbound 5 under the tunnel, transitioning to the 14. The vehicle has not come out of the tunnel.
Okay, stand by. He's fully working his way out of the tunnel now.
This pickup truck that we were keeping an eye on, we're just sort of in the middle of traffic, and then
What was that? My phone?
We're actually going against the flow of traffic before this, and trying to decide.
Lag.
7506, I copy streamer on the 5 north of a
watch, he will come into contact.
I'll go back to the comms when it's shit's popping off.
Two people from this work truck. One of them, the driver.
Yo, both these broadcasts are bad. This is bad. Get a guy casting it from the fucking thing and put the replay in small. This is so bad. So bad. Fucking dog.
Просто все с утра после заходят. Ну что это за хуйня ебаная, бля, просто классно.
Stop to see what was going to happen. I was curious whether this truck was going to try and block the egress of the stolen tanker truck. You can see the carjacked truck driver now running to the roadway and trying to communicate with that driver.
Go back to main. Go to main.
Side here. It kind of appears as though the driver was slowing down there for a minute, but still going right, still going on the I-5 and.
No,
not delayed, am I?
This looks like 2 lane.
La Vacca Saturno Saturnia.
If you've driven the 5 freeway through this area, the road's kind of split.
Okay, finally we got the live car chase guy.
Either the truck route,
These guys got no good outcomes yet.
Как это комментировать вообще, блядь? Просто как это комментировать, блядь? Как комментировать дачу, нахуй? Просто пиздец, нахуй, ебаный. Как это комментировать? Ну как это комментировать, нахуй? Просто как? Просто факи как? Просто fucking как. Охуеть, блядь, просто.
The TV garden thing doesn't actually load for me.
И челу наверх понес, блядь. То есть, блядь, ну просто, ну как нахуй это комментировать, блядь? Ну как этот бред ебаный комментировать просто? Охуеть просто.
Oh!
Not that one. There it is. That's the driver right there.
Yep. So we'll see if this.
Yeah, the broadcast overall is very delayed because we heard about the tunnel on the police
Nubini Pizzanini.
3 minutes ago.
Вы понимаете вообще, нахуй, это мой степень удачи, нахуй, это просто пиздец. Просто, блядь, ёбнуться, нахуй.
Cross over again further north you get towards the Grapevine. And I believe this is now rejoining with the 5 freeway, yeah.
I want to bring in...
And why is this one lagging every time? Check out.
Еще и под какими-то лайками ебанутыми, нахуй. Просто, то есть я вообще зашел за линию, нахуй, и мне не засчитало. То есть чел он уже засчитывает, когда они вот примерно здесь, нахуй, когда мои делятся, нахуй. Мне не засчитало. Да, просто классно. Very impressive.
Individuals, so one in the driver's side obviously well, so they're working here in tandem, but it's just again just stunning to see this go on.
It doesn't do anybody any good to increase the pressure and go out blind and go up to the. It's fine at.
So much attention, so difficult to maneuver, and put so many more people in danger, even though I imagine that the danger part of it is probably the least of their concerns in this particular case.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can't get anything bigger than this thing here. And,
what?
Yeah, this is just a...
there you go, there you go. I got it.
You'll be planning
on
4 or 5 here as well, and he could end up going south 405. In fact, that might be the 405 interchange right there, I believe. So, and then 118 is down a little bit further. So, yeah, he's got a lot of directions he can go at this point. In fact, yeah, that's the 405 interchange right there. So, if he continues south now, behind him, I guarantee you there's units ahead. They're trying to block off on-ramps as best they can, but there's only so much you can do. And so, you're going to have to leapfrog different offices as they go along. That's the one advantage CHP has over local law enforcement. They have jurisdictions within the department. They're called offices. As it goes down, so you don't have new hall officers down in the middle of South Central or something.
Yeah, I mean,
Division.
Yeah, it's a very well coordinated effort. So, Kevin,
man,
I want to thank you for jumping on.
He was thinking
on short notice. I'm Phil Schumann. This is a live pursuit on the 5 southbound of a carjacking suspect. Started in Lancaster in a pickup truck, attempted to carjack a car, and then carjacked live on our air. This you can watch this live on the Fox local app and check it out on Good Day LA at 4 a.m.
This should not go down, chat. Don't worry about it.
Live on the Fox local app and check it out on Good Day LA at 4 a.m.
It was sparked by the 1990.
In just a few seconds. Stand by. Stay with us.
You guys are also swapping that.
What are you doing?
I can't believe it.
There's very little options.
Nubini Pizzanini.
Now this started in Lancaster. We're all the way in the San Fernando Valley now. Here making our way southbound on the 5-3.
Because that was the live broadcast one.
Out of the way. This is the running into the front of that truck. The driver of the utility.
Yeah, these are bad. They always talk about.
They took that vehicle at gunpoint from the rightful owner in the Lancaster area, and they shot at this person. Now we don't know if
Nubini
that person
Pizzanini.
actually hit, but Lancaster sheriff started chasing that Ford pickup, made its way all the way here into the San Fernando Valley, where they hit a spike strip in the Newhall area and lost a tire.
True,
and
Felix.
got really
No.
Those two
This lady is a little bit underrated.
And then stole this big rig. Now,
this lady Casper is underrated.
Nubini
She's not bad at all. And she's also with a solo show too.
Bananita Dolfinita.
She's always first on the scene. Solo casting this shit from the get-go with almost nothing to do with.
Bananita Dolfinita.
Now we were wondering what may be in the back. We're being told that the back of this big rig is empty.
Usually they're first.
The person who got out of the big rig. Now earlier, Ileana, we saw that one of the people tried to carjack another big rig driver, but that driver backed up and wasn't turning over the truck.
Yeah, we actually saw them try to carjack two other vehicles before this one.
Now in Pacoima.
Nubini Pizzanini.
Fired earlier. That's kind of how we got the initial report of this pursuit. And CHP units have now confirmed that they have located a firearm left inside of that.
You were the chosen one, by the way.
That we showed you earlier. It's unclear if there is another firearm because we did see two people hop into this truck now that CHP officers are on.
Firearm is gone. They threw it out
here. This is kind of the first time that we've been able to see these patrol cars in our vantage point now. But again, still going strong. Not sure.
So how did they hijack the vehicle then?
Going really fast earlier. We saw reports of maybe.
Why did they get in the car?
It has continued. This has persisted.
Yeah, that's true. Exactly. That's what I mean.
Not going too fast, not going too slow here, but again, with those pursuing officers. And a big question that we are wondering is what is inside that tank. This is not a normal gasoline, which is a little wider.
Hold on, they're getting out, boys.
This is a long cylindrical tube.
It's empty converter, really. Empty converter.
It could have
like empty fog, so it could be anything really.
Cold freeze. It could have some kind of gas, natural gas on board, and that
could be methylamine for all we care.
Yet another level of danger. Here we have a carjacked 18-wheeler with some kind of trailer with unknown substance inside. We want to bring in now Bruce Thomas, our law enforcement expert, who has been watching this along with us. Bruce, you've been in this game a long time. What are your initial thoughts watching this play out tonight?
You know, you've got to have a multi-plan event for this. When the vehicle does stop, you have assault with a deadly weapon on police officers, you have carjacking, two big-time felonies, and the fact that they've recovered a gun. You have a suspects that are possibly still armed and dangerous. So there's a lot of missing pieces for CHP in this case.
Bruce, I mean, this is a big vehicle. You have to really know what you're doing to be able to drive this type of truck. But in terms of being able to stop it, I mean, what can law enforcement do at this?
You know, just what they're doing now is kind of a wait and see, stay behind it. Try to warn other vehicles so get out of its way. Maybe they could deploy a spike strip, but that's going to be very hard to do to get in front of this vehicle. And then again, you know, as Jory said, what is the load of this
Probably looking for a new partner, maybe.
Chemicals? Are we going to have hazardous materials incidents when this vehicle finally stops?
It's a question police are likely asking if they don't know already, because this.
It's coming to hasn't been the same ever since his wife left him.
About some kind of potentially flammable liquid or gas, and again, we want to let you know they are
been
now
a lot better.
170 freeway southbound. That's why you see.
Bro powered up like a Giga Chad, really putting all his engine into work, which where it needs his attention. Holy Giga Chad, Sigma male.
Sunday night is quiet, and that's one of the things you can say
Bambini
we're thankful about. Is the fact that this is happening
Bananita
on a Sunday night. Roadways are generally clear. There's not a lot of traffic at this time that we can see. But again, this is the second pursuit we've seen today, Sophie, where the driver, for some reason,
Pioniro Golubir.
those reflective vests
Nubini Pizzanini.
Ну что это за хуйня, блядь? Как это может быть, блядь? Ну что это за, блядь, тупая хуйня, блядь? Что убил? Куда он? Воздух полетел?
Nubini Pizzanini.
Firing shots at an officer or at CP officers. So again,
Классно, просто карта воздуха
inside,
полетела.
what cargo is inside of this truck. If there are shots fired, I mean, law enforcement
Nubini
officers have to
Pizzanini.
be careful of what's inside there too, right?
Yeah, you don't.
Какой-то ебланый
Nubini Pizzanini.
Просто
But at the same time,
Zero brain.
we're armed.
Wait, is this Chris, my men's?
And they did engage CHP.
Is that him?
Sort of,
Holy shit.
Nubini Pizzanini.
Fuck.
Hey Bruce, can you walk our viewers through how the handoff goes for the pursuit?
Holy muscular
started
Chad.
out with the CHP Newhall taking over the pursuit from the sheriff's
Мне
department. And as they entered different jurisdictions, the kind of jurisdiction
Look, it's him,
changed
Chad.
for law enforcement. How do they coordinate?
My
and how does
favorite
that
thing.
work as they move their way through different parts of town?
yeah, CHP is very well versed in this. You
Becomes
have,
bald.
with
Good Chad.
Santa Clarita, you have the Newhall.
Voluntarily shaves the entire
And then
head.
you have West
When
Valley,
perfect hairline.
CHP, and you have Hollywood.
Nubini Pizza.
CHP, and then ultimately down.
Cheese.
So they're just transversing geographic areas with
Nubini Pizzanini.
CHP officers.
Nubini Pizzanini.
Hand it off.
Yeah. So they're
Nubini Pizzanini.
over the radios.
I love
Someone.
It's hard though. They had to pick
Coordinating entity will
I'd have to go
coordinate
in.
kind of done on the ground as they enter new jurisdictions.
Cappuccino
You have
assassino.
watch commander who's ultimately in charge of the pursuit.
Strawberrelli flamingelli.
Basically, okay, we're leaving Santa Clarita.
Strawberrelli
area,
flamingelli.
So it's going to be West Valley. So when they get
I would have to
Strawberelli
shoot the house
flamingelli.
next to the tower.
Strawberrelli flamingelli.
Like that comes in.
Strawberelli flamingelli.
very well versed in, as other agencies are too. And you don't want to get tunnel vision. The lead patrol car is focused on that vehicle. So the vehicle that's second or third will
Strawberelli flamingelli.
the direction of travel, the speed, what the vehicle surrounded,
Like an
the
RP.
description of the vehicle. So the primary vehicle, the first vehicle, can focus just on driving.
And Bruce, when this inevitably comes to an end, you know, the best case scenario is that these drivers surrender, they pull over, but say that they just stop in the middle of the freeway here. Not going into Monday morning, people are thinking about getting back to work, again, on a very busy freeway. What will officers do? Will they leave that truck? If that truck stops in the middle of the freeway, will they leave it there to further an investigation? Will they pull it over? I mean, again, like we mentioned, we don't know what's inside that truck. So what happens when this comes to an end, if they stop in the middle of the freeway?
Yeah, what they're doing is they're planning for the end of the pursuit, the terminus as we call it. And they have multiple plans. One, do they surrender? Do they stay in the cab of the truck?
You can overlay that onto it with a small little background.
As an additional CHP would call out probably the LA County Sheriff's Special Enforcement Bureau to arrive on scene and take that over. Then the other thing, like you said, what is in that vehicle? If they stop in the middle of the freeway, eventually you have to move it. So do they have the tow truck drivers who tow vehicles for CHP with the big rigs? Once it's all over, then they would
fuel
move
is full, it's not going to end.
It's going to sit in the middle of that freeway, unfortunately.
Yeah. How about when this comes to an end and the drivers get out and officers behind draw their guns? Can you do that in a situation like this with a tanker truck that, with unknown payload on there? What if it's a flammable material and you have guns drawn?
Bro.
Is there any training for a situation like this? What do you do when you have a dangerous substance here that could react pretty poorly to bullets being fired?
Well, as you had said earlier, they are looking up in the hazardous materials handbook, which every vehicle has and every officer is versed in. What is the placard saying it is?
Sigma boy.
Is it diesel fuel? Is it
Radio's popping
gasoline?
off.
Compressed gas?
Send it.
You know,
Send it
is
link.
it something that's dangerous as an inhalation?
Well, I have it on the same
hazard?
moderator, but I don't think it's the correct
they've
one.
already gotten that information out. But like you say, now
Osborne, code 10-4265, RD 1969. So 4122333 Van Allen Street, Victor Way.
Wrong. This is the old ones. They swapped off.
101 freeway through Universal City, about to go through the Cahuenga Pass and down into the heart of Hollywood. And then you're talking about a much different situation, because even on a Sunday night, if you live in that area, there could be a lot of traffic. There are a lot of landmarks in this area. Southbound now on the 101, just passing Barham.
Heavier militaries coming to Texas.
Barham right there and heading down towards Hollywood. Everything that is in this area, you hope that this truck stays on the freeway. You do not want to see this play out on a side street in Hollywood, anywhere around there. There will be exits up here again for Cahuenga, for the next one might be Vine.
That's it. It's the same tanker.
Hollywood and Vine, they're going to pass the Capitol Records building right on the 101. As soon as they crest over the freeway in the Hollywood Bowl, you should see on the right there. I believe that's it right there.
Yeah, it's the same U.
So dangerous time here. We can see the 101 is pretty clear up ahead.
Pandaccini Bananini.
As this pursuit continues on.
Pandaccini Bananini.
Just now joining us. This began about a half an hour
Pandaccini
ago in the
Bananini.
Lancaster area. Shots were fired at pursuing officers. I believe at that point it was still the LA County Sheriff's Department.
Pandaccini Bananini.
California Highway Patrol that has continued from the freeway to both directions on
Bananini.
southbound.
Paper, they could just send it earlier.
Pandaccini Bananini. Pandaccini Bananini.
Go to another district or whatever.
This is what we saw earlier.
Right, when they run out of gas, and then swap cars while they swap the drums.
This trailerless cab, the driver of that cab then backs up the on-ramp to the 5 freeway. You can see this truck continues going the wrong direction up the off-ramp until they find another victim.
And one of our producers told us that truck drivers who have been watching our live stream have just called in to tell us, we're still waiting on clarity, but they've called to tell us that what is inside of that tanker is not hazardous. Again, we can't confirm that just based off of what we're looking at, but people who know better than I, it sounds like,
good.
Well, have a good
that's
idea.
Great news. I'd love to know what kind of stuff that tanker carries, what container, but that is that theory, that statement is buoyed by the fact that we do not see any hazmat tags on the back of this truck. They're usually those placards, square or diamond, different colors. You usually see them in red or blue or yellow, signifying different codes and numbers on the back, showing
or
what
it's not
kind
labeled
of hazardous material
because being done
do not see
secretive
on this tank, and that is now
to maneuver around uranium
by some other truck drivers who
by
thank
the
you
government.
for that information, guys and gals who have been watching and helping us out.
But still a dangerous situation, again, because this vehicle is very large. You know, people have to train, to study, to be able to drive these trucks. I mean, it is really no joke. We did see one of the people who carjacked this truck did have a vest on, a utility vest on, which you know was definitely
Orangutini
still a
ananas.
very dangerous situation. But this driver has not been going fast on the
Cavallo
freeway. Again,
virtuoso.
still dangerous. Also because we know that at one point that these two people that are in this truck were armed. We know CHP did find a firearm inside of the pickup truck that they were initially driving, so it's unclear if they still have a firearm on
Ballerina
them.
Glorbo frutto brido. Ballerina cappuccino. Ballerina cappuccino.
During the week says it looks kind of like a milk truck to him. I was thinking that, but it just looks a little small. There's no hazard.
Glorbo frutto
I think they would have a tanker as big as some of the fuel, the gasoline trucks that we see, which are a little wider, a little higher. This is pretty compact. This is pretty small. So I didn't.
It probably does something to protect the milk or whatnot inside
it. It's a little small. It just looks like it would be a little. You can fit a little more payload on there.
Maybe
something as
maybe it's getting
benign as milk. But again,
protect the temperature from the outside
word of
heat.
what it could be. But this pursuit continues on the 101 freeway. Now heading towards downtown Los Angeles at relatively slow speed.
Tim Cheese.
Still dangerous.
Sigma Boy.
Now I believe passing Melrose and recognizing the storage units. Yep, the self-storage. This is the two sides of the freeway.
Ноль попаданий в меня засчитал.
Avenue is somewhere around here. It should have been that right there. I believe that is Vernon and heading towards Silver Lake.
Did I want to go back?
And we have law enforcement experts on this who assists us on so many things, and especially Bruce. We talked about this a little bit earlier. It's been going on for almost, what, 40 minutes?
I know exactly
what, if anything, can these officers do to try to stop these drivers?
Oh, wait.
Well, you know, the one thing, hopefully they were able to find out from the driver who was carjacked, how much gas, how much diesel fuel was in his vehicle. That would tell officers at least how long this pursuit can go on. But in this case, it's kind of just we have to wait and see. He's not driving, or she or them are not driving dangerously. They are riding by the speed limit. They're not changing lanes abruptly. So they're not putting the public in that kind of danger. However, with any pursuit, there is danger to the officers, to the suspects, and to the uninvolved third party who may get caught up in this.
Yeah, just going on a basic, another internet search of how long a tanker truck can go, a semi, anywhere from 1,000 miles to 2,000 miles on a tank of gas, with a tank of upwards of 300-gallon capacity. Not much fuel. Still, that equals even if you 300 gallons.
How many?
Talking about
1,000 miles.
Again, as Bruce said, how much fuel was left in the tank, but I don't think this is one where you're going to see them drive this until the gas runs out, until the fuel runs out, because you could wind up at the Mexico border if this continues southbound. We don't know what the motivations are of this truck, but we see law enforcement or not shutting down the on-ramp, or just looks like there's an officer who's just allowing cars to go by, so I don't know what that
Gangster Futera.
Slowing down traffic.
CHP officer is
Fombo
doing
Mini
on that
Cusini.
on-ramp. You would think they would shut down the on-ramps and off-ramps to kind of clear the way for this pursuit, but that is not happening at first blush. And again, so here we see the split coming up.
Bombardiro Crocodilo. Fombo Mini Cusini.
And the 5 freeway
Fombo Mini Cusini.
moving south. We know this interchange right at downtown. You can take the 110 either direction towards back up towards the valley, or you can head south to South Los Angeles. And
Bombo Mini Cusini.
Continue on 101. This block 5 merge where then split several times here. Officers moving ahead. We see this sometimes. Bruce, maybe you can talk a little bit about this, about officers
like on the radio
and trying to block off
clicking your link. If this is a bad link, I swear I'm banning you from everything.
For these officers and the danger of having this truck continue this pursuit. Do we still have Bruce? Okay, we might have lost Bruce. We'll get him back on the line here. But now
Boneca Ambalabu. Tigrilini Watermelon.
Which cuts right through downtown Los Angeles. It'll be going by right through downtown, right by the convention center. You have the Crypto.com arena, and these are the apartments that years ago burned for construction. And again, light traffic here, 11:19 on a Sunday night. That makes things a little bit easier for these pursuing California officers.
Boneca Ambalabu. Very bicus dicus bombicus. Very bicus dicus bombicus.
Usually high traffic lanes.
Blueberrini octopusini. Very bicus dicus very bicus dicus bombicus. Very bicus dicus bombicus.
Which one do you guys want? Guys, is this not old?
Tung sahur.
No, it's not.
Liri la la.
No, we should have
Again, this began quite a distance away. There it is. Quite a distance from where we are watching this play out right now. This began up in Lancaster area. Shots were fired at pursuing sheriff's deputies. That came from there was a 4150 according to reports from our assignment desk.
Thank you. They have over drop out just a full foot from the river.
On the 5 freeway.
19-9. Who is my primary?
Chat, apparently red is ahead, by the way. Apparently this is ahead.
That this driver has and how much he will continue to drive. We saw that decision. It looks like they are getting off. Past the 10 freeway, they had that option.
If comes getting crazy, let me know.
Or you continue on the 110, but it looks like they continue on the 110 and now getting off an exit. I'm not sure if it's past Adams Boulevard, but maybe Jefferson or Exposition.
Both vehicles
Burr,
below following
Chat, can
behind.
they
Yeah,
not
one
put
of
a
the
big
two
ass
are
fucking
there
like
going
thing
to
on the
right
road
now.
that blocks the whole
Again,
thing?
just continuing to follow right
Like
to
super
armed
blockade.
suspects. They found a gun in one of the vehicles, so we know they don't have possession of at least one of their firearms, but we do believe them to be armed. Right now, they are considered armed and dangerous. And right now, he's just following behind. You see the two cruisers right there, staying close behind.
There's a 610.
Thankfully, we have not seen any accidents or erratic driving on their part, but we just continue.
Dude, replays as live content, man. Right now, carjacking suspects stealing a semi. It is something that we rarely see here. This is earlier. It's on the service road.
When we were watching it earlier, and you can see that vehicle just traveling there. Earlier, they again lost a tire, so that's
not born dumb fucker.
down.
But he's getting shot at the cops, then.
Back, we will bring it to you. This is just kind of a crazy chase tonight here at 11.
And before we talk about what you're seeing on the screen, which happened earlier, I think to update you, it did appear that the big rig, we can see a picture now, did get off. There we go. The 110 freeway, right around USC. Right around, I believe it's Exposition Boulevard. He got off the freeway and is off the freeway now and is making a left turn on one of those streets just south of the 10 freeway and south of USC.
So you see the streets, and there are people out there, so this becomes even more dangerous. Plus, you have traffic lights.
Chad, this is bad.
I know they prefer to be on the freeway usually because it ups the danger.
Yeah, it adds another factor. We were talking earlier about, thankfully, because it is
Bombomini Gusini.
less traffic on the road, less people out there because it is late at night, but there are still pedestrians. There are still people out there, and you can see there are cars on the road. Chose to get off the freeway. We're in South LA right now as it continues this pursuit, which began all the way in Lancaster, Palmdale, Kathy.
Yeah, Los Angeles Street is what I'm understanding, and I wonder if they're not trying to come to a stop here because you think, why get off the freeway? Why be on these streets? You're not going to jump into a parking lot like we've seen with others into some shopping mall and try to hide. You're in a semi truck, so they're not trying to hide. It makes me feel like maybe they are looking for a place to come to a stop and give up, but we'll see what happens as soon as we locate them here. We have all the buildings in downtown. There they are coming out right now on the left-hand side of the street. CHP still in pursuit behind them, but the dangerous thing is we have other cars, and they have to...
Cavallo virtuoso.
Andrew Garfield was still stuck, man. This would have been stopped already.
Right behind this semi-truck. Thankfully, it's not carrying anything tonight. We have confirmed that the driver has jumped out of it because he was fearing his life, and that was what enabled him to take the vehicle.
That's just what I meant. My re-amendment is LA.
Learn that information.
And we know based on past pursuits, sometimes these drivers, they wind up driving to somewhere familiar to them. They wind up driving somewhere where they know someone who might be able to help them, someone who might be able to hide them. That is, of course, pure speculation at this point. We don't know the intention of this driver. We don't know. Again, increasing
no, not a red light.
But got off the freeway after.
Damn, that's kind of scary for the people, though.
For 6 miles. We watched this pursuit before the newscast began as it started. in the Antelope Valley and continued southbound on the 5 freeway onto the 170 and out to the 101 and to the 110, beginning with a first car.
Damn, that racing line is crazy.
According to authorities, shooting at the victim, the carjacked, and then carjacking a big rig that you see here that continues to flee from law enforcement.
This guy drive this. This guy might be a CDL holder, chat.
That Eliana confirmed that it was?
Yeah, CHP took over on the freeway, and I believe they may have stayed behind them, continuing. It's really up to the agencies what they want to do and hand off between agencies or what have you. But on the freeway, usually the CHP.
Certified trucker.
I just keep thinking to myself, there has to be a plan. There has to be something that they're thinking to be on these side streets and not on the freeway.
Tunnel alert.
Just trying to get away. They're trying to think what they want to do.
Here it comes, big turn.
Just waiting to see if they might come to a stop. We've lost them for just a moment, but we're going to stay overhead and try to get our bearings and see where they.
Wait, that's a spot in GTA.
I mean, it's not too hard to spot that giant white semi truck with the tank, but somewhere.
Where is he?
They have hidden temporarily.
We saw them move towards South Los Angeles, but apparently they.
Ноль больших сил, просто ноль. Просто лак с большими силами просто ноль нахуй. Настолько ноль нахуй. Просто, блять, даже ниже нуля нахуй. Просто минималка 0, но ниже нуля. Минималка 0, ниже нуля. Лак ниже нуля. При минималке 0. Просто пиздец. При минималке 0, лак ниже нуля.
Eliana, I had you in my head. I was thinking, you always say it's better to be on the freeway, not on these side streets because it gets so dangerous, and we did see people out walking around. And I just have to
absolutely, and it really does make things more dangerous.
Hello there, Glendale.
Off the 110 freeway, and when it is on surface streets, it does become more dangerous just because you have cross traffic, you have pedestrians. So a chase that was already dangerous, just being on the freeway, becomes increasingly dangerous.
Right now is Ilion, what do you make of this? Usually when people get off and they either are trying to go home, they go someplace they know, they're trying to hide. This is not the case likely here.
What?
Confirm, I think 698. Okay, still southbound through Jamestown Woods.
Dude, that is a lot of air traffic. That's crazy.
Arena. So I'm going to ask George if we could just head a little bit south. He's just over here by these buildings, so just outside of our line of sight. But I continue to monitor the scanner.
Fox has it.
He's still moving here through the area. Every now and then, it's going to be surface streets here around downtown Los Angeles.
Yeah, obviously because we're in downtown Los Angeles and because of
С такими лагами это смешно просто нахуй.
No lag on this one, no.
Лаги, блять, мышка уходит хуй пойми куда, блять, просто классно.
Big and a very white big rig that we are following, but as you can see, it is a very prominent area. Just there, we found it, right by LA Live,
Then put it on the broadcast, then. Put it on the broadcast. We don't care about this. We don't care about this. We don't care.
As you can imagine, when you've got all of these high-rises, every now and then we'll catch a glimpse of the vehicle and then lose it again behind a building. So kind of a cat and mouse here for us, but you see him there. He just came out. He's on 12th Street, headed eastbound. He's in the area of, as you said, LA Live, the Crypto.com arena, all very busy areas, really at any time of the year. But right now, it's late on a Sunday night. Thankfully, you have just a few people who are going home a little bit.
Did they have a gun though? He literally was hiding something in.
Imagine if
no?
it was a Lakers game going on or a Kings game, something on the Crypto.com arena. When stuff like that happens, you have hundreds of people that are just simply walking here down on the sidewalk or even sometimes in the middle of the street. A situation like that would be extremely dangerous. dangerous, but thankfully it's pretty quiet here in downtown Los Angeles tonight as he just made that northbound turn on Hope Street on 11th.
Yeah, and you know, this is a driver. These are two suspects who have come off of two carjackings. You know, I hope they don't try to carjack someone else. I would find that hard to have happen when we have CHP right behind them. But you never know what they're thinking at this point. They're certainly not trying to hide. It's impossible to hide right now. And if they wanted to get away, they'd be on the freeway. So we're just going to have to continue to watch and see what they're doing.
Interesting
not
commentary.
Any of the traffic rules of the road right now. But as much trouble as we've had keeping up with them at some point, CHP never lost them, right?
Nope.
Yeah, they've always had the airship overhead. The airship might have lost sight of him at times, but because they have all those
big turn
behind them, they're able to re-engage with their ground officers. That officer,
holy
this guy much in the way of room. He's right on his tail. So they're trying not to lose them. Another thing that I did notice that the CHP is doing is they're running other officers on adjacent streets. So just in case
Tete Saur.
Oh, what is he doing?
Дезерт, блядь. Просто он чел нахуй завязал здесь и сделал здесь тройку нахуй и застрелил, блядь. Просто что за хуйня ебаная? Типа я сделал все, чтобы застелить гарантированно нахуй, но с моим везением.
Kind of vehicle, and it struck me when he carjacked that big rig. My first question was, is he able to drive? Because those things are not easy to drive, and I'm surprised so far. Those downtown streets are not wide streets. There's not a lot of room to maneuver, and it takes some skill to drive a vehicle like that.
Yeah, they're not very wide streets, and a lot of them are one-way streets. And if you don't know your way around well enough here in downtown, you'll end up on a wrong-way street. And so he already did that at a couple of times here, making his way to downtown Los Angeles.
Wait, it's the one-way.
And of course, Figueroa is the major street here that runs adjacent to the 110 freeway. It's where you have all of these major landmarks, like the Crypto.com Marina, which we're just passing by. We, of course, have the convention center just south of that. So if he continues in this general direction, it will get him down to the 10 freeway. He can get back on the freeway there. Now,
this guy's GG, just fucking do it already, man.
To begin with, but he was on that 10 freeway. That's where he exited, but he may be trying to work his way back to the highway.
It's so crazy. This all started in Lancaster. You picked it up at what time, Eliana?
We picked it up. It was around. Gosh, it was around 10 o'clock at that point, just a little bit after 10 or so. And we heard it coming down
Chef Crabracadabra. Chef Crabracadabra.
Nah, this is still a 2-star chase.
Lancaster sheriffs then handed it off to the CHP when
I don't think we'll ever see a 3-star.
Southbound on the 4th to the southbound
3, 4. I mean, yeah, we'll never see a 4. 4 is crazy.
Carjacking of this vehicle took place, and I can tell you it was very
4 is like the mobile SWAT vans and shit.
They were armed. We knew that they were willing to that weapon because they had used it on the first carjacking that they had done, and apparently they had even fired at an officer during the course of the pursuit. So we knew that these were two very dangerous suspects who were willing to do anything.
No, 5 is tanks.
To get away, and what they decided to do was to steal this big rig. There's nothing in the back of the big rig, but still a really scary situation to know that these guys who may have
I think they know where they're going
at this point are driving a very dangerous.
What is this fucking shithole?
And you witnessed it.
What a disgusting city, man. Fucking embarrassing.
At least one of the suspects confronted.
Look at that piece of shithole that is, man.
Maybe more than one.
Gorillo Watermelon Drill.
Wisely decided to withdraw and not try
Gorillo Watermelon Drill.
Over there, when the driver was scared away by the suspects.
Хороший лак. Замечательный вообще просто.
He initially tried to carjack a small little white vehicle. Thankfully, that person had his or her windows and doors closed, so they weren't able to get access to the car. So they
Trulimero Trulicina.
To another big rig. That big rig driver just bolted out of there, wanted nothing to do with it. But this guy, or the original driver, different situation for him because the suspects crashed into him. with that original stolen Ford pickup truck. So that was really their ruse to get into the cab of the vehicle, pull the driver out, and then take the car. Now, at that point, we don't know if they were still armed because there was a gun recovered from the Ford truck. But what we don't know is, did they only have that one gun, or is there still a gun on board of this vehicle? Because, again, there's 2 people inside of the cab of this big rig.
Okay, so that is how the CHP has to proceed, not knowing they have to consider that they are armed and dangerous right now. They're going to be dangerous just driving on these streets. I just cannot believe they got off the freeway and they're continuing to try to maneuver through these streets, make those tedious turns that they're just barely getting by. You have to wonder what they're thinking right now, what the plan is.
And making that decision to continue fleeing in downtown.
Don't mute the caster.
Making a circle
hey!
They kind of have open space and a free southbound journey toward the 405, eventually toward Orange County, but instead they got off the 110 freeway.
We don't care, buddy.
And went northbound into downtown Los Angeles by the Civic Center, and then went southbound again toward .com Arena, toward the convention center. Is now going southbound again, choosing.
Look at this.
Now trying to get on the freeway again. It appears in the opposite direction, and again increasing.
This is how they carjacked the first time, by the way.
And it's actually how we picked it up earlier. They were going in the opposite direction when they were in the other vehicle. So this just ramps up the danger.
Berry, bicus, dicus, bombicus.
I want to know if they're trying to find a way out. Exactly what the plan is, I do not know. They're driving into oncoming traffic. So at this point, we're just waiting to see what's going to happen.
On the highway?
Holding our breath to make sure that no one gets hurt. So far, we don't believe, other than the person who was fired at, we don't know their condition.
Opposite of the lane of the shuttle.
It doesn't appear that there have been any other wrecks or anything happening besides them tapping this vehicle. The driver has, appeared to drive fairly well up to this point, but now going the opposite way.
What is he doing? No way, Curtis is somebody else, right?
Orangutini ananassi. Giraffa celeste.
I feel like they're about to do that.
Danger, every time they make a move like this, but
Orangutini ananassi.
Like you said, even though supposedly has been gunfire involved, especially at the beginning of this incident.
Все хорошо, гарантированное попадание, гарантированное, like 100%. Попадает он или нет, нахуй, вообще похуй.
Orangutini ananassi.
100% защищает чел.
Orangutini ananassi.
Там наверняка этой хуйней тоже попадает.
Orangutini ananassi.
Просто пиздец.
Orangutini ananassi.
Yep, 100%.
Orangutini ananassi.
This is the 10
Orangutini ananassi. Orangutini ananassi. Orangutini ananassi.
Я ебал эти лаги, нахуй.
Orangutini ananassini. Orangutini ananassini. Orangutini ananassini. Fluriflura. Orangutini ananassini. Orangutini ananassini.
Or easy person to get it from. By going to the exit brackets, where people slow down. Like you did it earlier, dude. Like, hello?
Orangutini ananassini. Orangutini ananassini. Orangutini ananassini.
Why would they hesitate to, like, they keep slowing down?
Orangutini ananassini. Orangutini ananassini ananassini. Orangutini ananassini. Orangutini ananassini. Orangutini ananassini.
The cops are dog shit! The cops are trash!
Orangutini ananassini. Orangutini ananassini. Orangutini ananassini.
And then they get off! It's so stupid! Oh my god! What? Hello?
These two into custody. We saw them when they carjacked the big rig, so we could see that they were
Orangutini ananassini.
Of course, they could have changed their clothing between now and then, but again, men are what they're looking for.
Orangutini ananassini.
Just under the
Is this stupid?
And Ileana, you were right on
Orangutini
the plan.
ananassini.
Follow them going the wrong way, but you mentioned CHP was setting up all over the area so they would be prepared and they would be ready to storm
Orangutini
in.
ananassini. Orangutini ananassini, orangutini anassini. Chef Crabracadabra. Orangutini ananassini.
The suspects may be under there. We very careful because there's a possibility that the suspects may be still armed as well. We know they've used that weapon before.
Что это за хуйня, блять? Меня ёбаная бита откидывает на километр, нахуй, бля, просто классно, нахуй. Просто охуенно. Из рандом с откидыванием, нахуй, он, бля, просто все идет.
Panzini bananini.
За счетом удара.
CHP on all sides right now. Vehicles parked. They were running there at one point. Looked like they had something in their sights. But again, we're dealing with two suspects now who may be armed, who have already carjacked two people. So it is a dangerous situation for authorities.
No, it's empty. No.
But now that some
don't have metal
is
tank.
parked
I have the comms.
there on the streets, and right now what they're trying to do is just round up the two suspects who started this all at around 10 o'clock in Lancaster, if you can imagine that.
Yeah, and
what the fuck is happening?
Going southbound since then, but then making a turn and going northbound after they hit South LA and kind of making a loop around downtown Los Angeles before getting onto the 10 freeway in the opposite direction, going eastbound on the westbound lane, and thankfully getting off of the freeway. And it looked like, Kathy, that they finally found a turn that they could not navigate. Either they chose to just go on foot at that point, or they realized they could not make that turn right under the 10 freeway and got out. And the extra danger, as you mentioned, we know.
Carjacking or having a vehicle waiting for them, now the third vehicle in this white pickup truck.
Another one!
Frigo Camelo.
Was that Cummings Street?
Frigo Camelo.
There is that white pickup truck again.
I told you we're looking for a next win.
Frigo Camelo.
Perhaps their airships.
Frigo Camelo.
Why change Silverado?
They are following this and have re-engaged this driver as they wait for this ground.
Frigo Camelo. Frigo Camelo. Frigo Camelo. Chimpanzini bananini. Frigo Camelo.
This is happening. This is
About to 4?
Westbound on 6th Street. Eastbound on 6th Street from Chicago.
Now in Boyle Heights,
Ballerina Cappuccina.
And Chicago, turning left onto 6th Street.
Downtown too. I mean, not too far away. Hopping in that freeway.
These cops, man, dude.
A matter of
I literally told you.
or so,
Comms going crazy. I am on the comms. No.
Hopping off onto the side streets, which do appear to not be busy right now. I haven't really seen many cars driving on the street where they're going. Thankfully, keeping a lot of people out. But again, we really haven't seen any of those patrol cars come up close to the truck like we saw while they were in that milk tanker earlier.
Yeah, that spotlight's still firmly on this truck. Enforcement is still
exactly what transpired under the 10 freeway there, but we're being told they got into this white truck, and you can see the issues on them. They're opening their doors. It looks like at least one person jumping out. Yeah, it looks like.
Stop driver.
It sounds like this is what they did, that they got into this truck because just of the way they're driving in and acting. But is anyone behind them at this point?
Yeah, so at this point, no one behind them. All of the CHP
crazy
were with the big rig over by the 101 freeway in Alameda. So at some point,
we actually rarely see this. Very rare that we have a dual queue actually cooperating.
The vehicle just took off at about 100 miles an hour, so that's what made it suspicious. And they located it in
this is a 1 in 1,000. This is super rare.
St. Louis, and you can see that it is running lots here. It is driving erratic. We saw in the back and in the front, and now we're about 50 miles an hour. So we're making our way here through the Allen division on Boyle Avenue, adjacent to the 5 freeway.
All right. Well, thank goodness for the airship because they were able to track them as this happened.
We do not know at this point how they got and flee from the big rig, but we don't know if this white truck could be subject of yet another carjacking, right?
Yeah, at this point, it's unconfirmed because the CHP did not know. They did not know
Gorillo watermelon drill.
This vehicle had been carjacked, but you can see the dangerous driving that we're witnessing. This truck came out from under the overpass. We saw that driver switch through there just a second ago.
What?
And now we see these high speeds here through the Royal Heights area. So at this point, we believe
Close my lights, please. No, don't close my lights.
If it is in fact subject of a carjacking, or if this is a situation where somebody stopped and
If they drove off normally speeds, airship would
They
have seen
definitely
them.
needed to switch vehicles because they were in that tanker, so you wonder.
I was on the comms.
Boneca
That
Does it make no sense to get on these streets?
witnesses already called it out.
But now if they are in this vehicle, then
They had directions and shit from the bystanders.
evading the CHP, so we'll have to wait and see if CHP picks
Also,
this up and what they will
heli.
do once they get their vehicles in line and try to confirm whether this is what happened. If somebody
ABC had a shot and then carjacking. They knew. Okay, it's not because airships of the news see it that the cops know. They don't actually are. Pretty rarely they communicate on the fly. We've seen it before. Them cooperating on the fly, not often.
And went into downtown Los Angeles near the Civic Center, then went back to Crypto.com Arena, then went in the opposite direction on the 10.
Yo, absolutely true. I know what I'm talking about. Don't test me on this one.
To find this white truck, like you said, maybe someone did meet them and provide them a vehicle, but it would seem unlikely that somehow this vehicle belongs to them and they knew where to go to find it. Given
The cop chopper doesn't always see it because he's maneuvering differently because he's closer to the ground, so they lose very crucial angles as they turn and spin around at lower height. Please.
Units at this point, but this chase has lasted well over an hour at this point.
Yeah, at least the airship is up above. They are continuing to follow, and now we've seen them turn once again.
Is this a cop?
Continue to follow it right now here and see what they do. We don't even have confirmation.
It's a fucking sniper.
Suspects,
oh my god, bro.
And I think, just common sense tells you that probably that is what we're watching right now.
And then the direction of the suspects has gotten, assuming these other suspects, okay, now this seems like the third or fourth time they have flipped around. So
I'll mention. Classic.
Suspects that have fled this pursuit started with a straight line, basically, coming from the Antelope Valley down the 14, down the 5, down the 170, down the 101, down the.
White Chevrolet pickup, your model. They keep making U-turns, going southbound now. Looks like they're possibly trying to find a place to
Блять, 90 секунд,
I'm gonna chase you. How often do people try to get away? How often do they get away? Do they succeed? Very commonly, unless they've been violent, or unless it's their car, been identified, and they'll get them later. Fidel!
Yeah, considered armed and dangerous. We're in Lincoln Heights right now as we continue to follow. One thing that has changed, if they get behind them now, they would be able to hit them at some point if they do a slow turn. We're going to wait as they come out from underneath, and not sure what they're doing right now, going very slowly. Now we have CHP.
It's creeping! It's on creep! It's empty! They're gone! It's empty!
This could be a hit.
He's making a move right now. A CHP unit.
It's like a cat and mouse right now with this driver just almost toying.
It's empty, you fucking cock!
Going one way, looping around now very slowly. I would wait and see if they.
Black car, which one? I didn't see.
Здесь рандомизируется дальность удара, засчитается ли удар или нет, нахуй, и еще и, блять, дальность откидывания, нахуй. И, of course, все не за меня, ну, скорее всего.
What?
Ballerina cappuccino.
Где этот чел, блять?
I see the swap. Would you guys saw the swap?
Trulimero Trulicina.
Oh. I cannot rewind the view. Sorry. I just can't do it.
Somewhere in that underpass.
Glorbo frutto drillo.
Spotlight from that vehicle right, that law enforcement cruiser right there, and another one now circling the block. So it appears that law enforcement might be looking for these drivers. They may have lost them.
Back up.
What?
And you see, do we still have Bruce Thomas on the line?
What do you mean they lost them? They're right there.
Thanks for sticking with us this long.
They're right there.
We see
Are they not gonna lock in?
Да зачем не ливает нахуй? Просто съебено, блядь.
You know, it appears because there was a lag time between the on-scene of the patrol cars.
I am so confused.
And the vehicle that, like you said, he may have carjacked somebody else. And the vehicle was just rolling.
The truck they fixed them at light the windows. That's what they were looking for.
Traffic stop, but it looks like they're trying to contain an area for looking for the suspect. But at this point, I think they may have lost them.
Looks that way. It really does look that
way.
This game might have set off to not get carjacked though.
Yeah, Cesar Chavez at Progress Place.
No, no shot. Look, he spun. It's them. Look, he spun.
Doing a big through downtown Los Angeles. It apparently is something you can do.
Что это за бред ебаный? Что это за
Is that the
трэш?
pickup truck there?
Охуенно.
It has to be them. That's them 100%.
That's the truck. So it looks like based on it looks like it's resting up against some parked cars. So they likely bailed from this, allow it to roll on. I think the officers might have continued pursuing this truck.
ABC had the shot.
Guys had gotten out.
But they let go because they wanted to go back to the scene. They had the shot. You fucking brain dead.
Able to see them now. They could still be in that vehicle. I don't know if they are. They seem to be lined up as if those two guys are still.
What the fuck?
Pandaccini, bananini, orangutini, ananassi.
That truck and are able to clear it.
Friends and help to pick them up. That's why the white truck was circling around. Dude.
To a stop against those parked cars, which is kind of what looks like.
Orangutini, ananassini. Orangutini, ananassino, assassino. Orangutini, ananassini. Orangutini, ananassini.
Now, in between two parked cars.
And we know there were at least two people inside of this truck. The initial.
They were waiting the whole time.
Sigma
They were
boy.
waiting the whole time. They were stopped.
We've been pursuing all night. They hopped in there.
And it looks like those officers are backing away. So it's either empty or something happened inside the truck.
Buddy, ABC7 followed the correct car. They figured it out. And they probably asked the heli guy to go back to the scene to film the car getting fucking taken down. What a fucking fumble!
Or is that the driver's door? No, it's the rear door.
Tung tung
So
tung
it looks like
sahur.
this vehicle is
Perochello
empty.
lemoncello. Burr
It
patapim.
appears we can't see everything.
Tim
all
cheese.
The officers here, but it looks like these guys may have gotten away.
Liri li lari la. Bananita
So what
dolfinita.
started more than
Talpa
an
di
hour
ferro.
ago,
What?
Several cars.
Was that a fire alarm?
Carjacking of a big rig truck carrying a milk tanker. This truck right here may have been carjacked, or I mean, it would have. It basically was. If we saw the driver get out.
Li
Ёбаный ублюдок нахуй.
And there's no longer a danger within the cab because they're backing away from that now, checking the bed of the truck. Officers approached on both sides. And you can see, is it a covered bed or can you see right into the bed? Opening the rear door of that, is it a...
Chad, they have two broadcasts, right?
The driver's door.
Nubini
These guys have the
pizzanini.
angle.
Rear door. So
Nubini
it looks like this
pizzanini.
vehicle is empty.
It looks like it's empty. it seems like this is maybe empty. Holy shit, the fuck? Are these people on smoking crack?
Прикольно. Прикольно.
A big rig truck carrying a milk tanker.
Cavallo virtuoso.
Все в порядке, нахуй, блядь, в этой игрой, нахуй. I fucking can't, нахуй, блядь, какой же бред тупой, нахуй. Это просто пиздец, просто, блядь, просто все в порядке, нахуй. Все в порядке, нахуй. Просто, то есть на похуй. Я чела на 5 секунд зафризил, когда было 3 секунды, нахуй, блядь. И когда он чел был на расстоянии километра, нахуй. И у него лочится база, блядь. Просто пиздец, нахуй. Ну просто пиздец, нахуй. Просто я рот ебал, нахуй. Это еще и дегенер заэксплуатировал, нахуй. Он его там рандомится позицию, куда чел падает. И он на похуй падает, блядь, ровно на эту хуйню. Ну, замечательно, замечательно. А еще рандомизируется когда можно, блядь, эту хуйню нажимать. Просто классно. Хотя рандомизация происходит через рисованные лаги и так далее. То есть пинг и т.д. Просто кусора. И дигер на похуй идеально это эксплуатирует. Ну, очень интересно.
This one.
Do we have word of? Yeah, I think they're back on the side street, back by the underpass. We didn't see those law enforcement further down the road here. Just a little further down
просто гениально.
As the truck emerged from this underpass.
Tralalelo, tralalelo, tralala. 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 Nubini pizzanini. Tralalelo, tralala. Nubini pizzanini. Tung 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 sahu. Tung 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 sahu. Tralalelo, tralala. Tralalelo, tralala. Chef, tralalelo, tralala. 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 Tralalelo, tralala.
Right now as they continue to follow.
This is. Let me just check the headlights real quick.
Lincoln Heights right now is. Yeah,
exactly. 100%.
Trulimero, trulicina.
We're going to wait and see as they come out and very slowly. And now we have.
Blame the cops. That was horrible police work. I don't give a fuck.
Cappuccino assassino.
What the fuck am I watching?
Чел спиздил меня на 7.5 нахуй, блядь, но я не могу у него заселить ни одного итема, ни один ран нахуй просто на... Блядь, просто это пиздец нахуй. За трэш ебаный. Fucking can't. Метрол нужен будет на следующий реверс, скорее всего. Мне требуется 250 лямов набить.
Usually they get cooked, but deliberately. So I mean, maybe yeah, you're right. CHP, they don't give a fuck about anything. My main issue with the way they transfer calls is how slow they are at swapping it. These guys knew exactly what they were doing. And even if they didn't, the cops showed them the pattern that would give them the win live on. Every time they swapped from highway to city, the guys noticed the cops swap fucking call and take forever for them to catch up. They just did this exact same thing. Hey, bro! Hello?
При заходе нормально. Что сверху. Там второй этаж прогружается.
Nope, we're going back to base. Look, this is where the fight started. This is where it's going. You think it's more likely that they're following somebody in some fucking diagonal on some populated road, or they're going home? They're going home.
I mean, I was at the edge of my seat the entire time. From what we were able to count, these suspects probably took about 4 vehicles during the course of this pursuit, and they're still on the run, likely in a black BMW. At this point, it's unknown where.
Hey, that was it. That's the end of it. There, they got away. That was. I gotta say, chat, guys. I like to comment a lot in the chat, and I'm gonna say just for my own safekeeping, that was probably one of the better, most escape we've seen of all time. Dude, the shots fired creates distance. Understand that the swap call, the fucking the underground strat, the car swap strat, the setup, the weight, everything was just done pretty well. I mean, what can you do? The only failing party is the cops. CHP, dog shit.
О, господи.
I always wondered this: why don't they let LAPD chase for longer when they're on CHP grounds and like highway shit? Like they're gonna get off the highway, dude. Most of them, 90% of the time they get off. Oh, that's how you knew. What is that? Is that the light for what? That's the door light, no? That's when you open the door, it gives you a light under because it's a